La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. The cuffs are off, man.
Hey everybody, Adam Rank here.
What's up, friends? Daniel Dopp here from the Fantasy Focus Football Podcast over on ESPN.
It's Fabs here, Michael Fabiano from Sports Illustrated.
You know who you can trust if you've got some questions about your fantasy squad?
Want to check out a cool show on YouTube that'll help you get ready for the fantasy football season?
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network.
Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network. If you are not subscribed, what are you waiting for? You want to lose your league?
Head on over to YouTube. Check out the Get Right Fantasy Network because they're doing everything they can to make you a better fantasy player.
You got to get right with the Get Right Fantasy Network.
So go and roll your sleeves up. Yeah, go and roll your sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting down cause I roll my sleeves up. And I'm getting right cause I get.
What up? What up? What up, world? Welcome back to the Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm Mike Herrick, aka Classic Mike, and I'm here with my good buddy Kendall VanDerBilt. What's going on, Kendall? How you doing, man?
We are doing good tonight, man. Hope you guys are all well. My 2-0 crowd's feeling good. My 0-2 crowd is hammered. Let's go.
I'm one of them. I'm excited. We're getting there. We're getting there. Very, very well. Just the start, thankfully. Doesn't it always feel weird when we start? It always feels like it's almost close to finishing too. It's so weird because I always just keep thinking, I'm like, oh no, one more week, it's going to be done. So for those that missed last week, tonight we're going to be doing things just slightly different than normal on our Start Sit show. What we're going to be doing instead of like what we did in years past, we're going to not be doing full breakdowns of each game, but instead we're going to be answering all your start questions tonight. So please make sure to throw your questions in the chat. We'll get to them shortly. First, we're going to just go over some news and notes and give our views on some of, the things that have happened since last night, and then jump right into your questions right after we did that. We're going to go over some, injury news to kind of make sure you guys are aware of some of the things that happened today on Friday. And then get you guys started with those questions. So make sure you throw your questions in the chat so we can get that going. If you guys want your questions answered right away, just throw us a super chat and we will stop everything just to answer your questions. So make sure you guys do that. We will be here for about an hour or so, but we're going to be here as long as you have questions. So make sure you guys throw those questions in the chat. Make sure, just a quick disclaimer for everybody. Make sure you guys, when you're posting your questions, to include things like format, scoring, like full, half, non-PPR, tight end premium, all that stuff. That gives us a better understanding of your question, and we're able to help you better navigate the situation. All right. So let's get into things currently, just some of the injuries. The biggest stuff is the injuries that have been going on lately. We have a bunch of stuff going on with a lot of different position groups, especially the quarterback. The quarterback is probably the biggest one with changes this week. The biggest one is Jaden Daniels. He's going to be missing this week with Mariota out. Daniels is going to be missing. Mariota is going to be starting. So just be aware of that ahead of time. So take Jaden Daniels out of your lineup. Other QBs of note starting this week is Jake Browning. We already know Joe Burrow out with turf toe. It's a shame. He'll be out for about 3 months. Carson Wentz, he's going to be replacing JJ McCarthy with a knee injury. Tyrod Taylor is going to be replacing Justin Fields, he was ruled out pretty early. He was ruled out at on Wednesday for a concussion. And then that's really it for the QBs. So I'm going to ask you a question real quick, Kendall. Out of these QBs, Mariota, Taylor, Wentz, Browning, who do you want? How are you ranking them? What do you think?
I want Browning and then Wentz. They're pretty close. Browning just has if they're all pretty similar in terms of we don't really know who's gonna show up and show out and who's gonna make sense. I just want good weapons. I want a running game that's not easy to lean on, and a game script that has the most outcomes for let's go throw some touchdowns, and or offenses that tend to be more pass heavy in the red zone. So right now, I was big on Chase Brown last year. Not so much the case this year. So I like Browning because I just don't, even if he gets in the end zone, it's probably through the air. So I think his odds to score, 2+ touchdowns are probably up there. I was starting Browning over Tua if I had to this week, just to give you an idea. I like Wentz could ball out, but he could also be just miserable. I just don't know. I mean, I think there's he feels like maybe I'll sprinkle a little on the betting and on that type of stuff with Wentz, but no, I think it's Browning and then Wentz, and then after that it's pretty miserable in my opinion. After that, those offenses just aren't quite set up to succeed. I mean, the quarterbacks were the reason those things were doing well. I mean, Fields was kind of making things happen for the Jets. I don't expect that from Tyrod quite so much, and Mariota's just. He's just a decent game manager. I think he's one of the bigger adults in the room that can run an okay offense. But I just don't see a ton of upside there. So that's how I'd rank him.
Okay. No, fair enough. I'm in that same boat. Browning was definitely the one I would prefer out of all these. Hopefully you were able to get him in your waiver wires. A lot of people, put a big money on him. I saw him in one league. He was $197, and the guy just automatically threw him on the trade block. Which I thought was ballsy, not gonna lie.
I hate when people do that.
It was come on. You just dumped all your, from 250 fab, you dump 197. Come on.
Yeah, it's just like just flipping your hand face up and saying like I'm chasing a spade. Like
yeah. Like I get it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Some notable running back injuries that we've been tracking. The biggest one is Zach Charbonnet. He is doubtful. With a foot injury for Sunday. At this point, didn't practice all week. He's listed as doubtful, so ramp up good old Ken Walker. So hopefully we can see the Ken Walker of old that we've been waiting for.
Yeah. Hey, had 100 yards on only 13 carries the other week. I know he broke a decent one, but I mean, it wasn't like a 50-yarder he broke. I think it was just 20, 30 or something like that. So yeah, I'm pretty invested in Walker, the talent when he's healthy. I fully get the injury thing, but I'm like, hey, the cool thing about this format is like, hey, you can bench him when you need to.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want a vintage. I want 20 points from Ken Walker so bad. In Dynasty, I've got some rebuilding teams where I have him everywhere. I only have a few teams that are rebuilding this year, and Walker is one of those I just need him to just ball out, and then Sharps still have a tag next week, and then it's a perfect sell opportunity. But yeah, hopefully he's awesome.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. I can't wait. Hopefully that's the case for a lot of the guys that I have. Walker, I had him sitting on my bench all last week. It felt gross, but I ended up winning, so I was okay. Aaron Jones, he was placed on IR this week. Jordan Mason will be taking the reins. That's kind of big news. For those that drafted him a little bit later in the season. He's looked a lot better than Aaron Jones in general. So this is good news for Jordan Mason owners, not so much for Aaron Jones. He will be back in 4 weeks. DeAndre Swift, he was limited all week with a quad injury. He should be good to go, but he's listed as questionable. You guys are going to have to check back on Sunday morning with me to make sure for the actives and inactives. I will help you guys out on Sunday morning to make sure that we know if he's playing or not. If he's not playing, how are you feeling about Kyle Mangione? Or Maganani. Sorry.
Not amazing. Not amazing. Yeah, it's one of those who you got to look up who the name is type of a thing. So not feeling the best. I could feel better. Let me have a few more sips and I'll get there, but not great.
I was gonna say, I mean, if I am the Swift owner, I might be investing prior to Sunday just to have that extra, because you never know what's gonna happen. It's always good to have the backup. God for if he does something good and they start changing it up, then you at least have that ability to have it, and it blocks everybody else from having it.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a decent talent, but he's still pretty raw. He's still a rookie. Like, Omarion Hampton and Travion Henderson are still learning how to play football. I would imagine so is Kyle. So we'll see. I just don't have any faith in our running game right now. Our offense lacks a lot of identity. So I think it's going to be one of those. That type of back needs a lot of carries to kind of figure it out with our O-line. So
yeah,
like that's the type of play where if Swift was somehow magically out, I would still be going with some options over him. Because I just don't see that happening, and right now too. I mean, we're coming from behind so often right now that I just don't. It's just a game script issue too.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. So the last running back one is Tyrone Tracy. He was on the injury report with a calf injury. He is off the injury report as of this afternoon, so that's good news. I'm going to run through the wide receivers real quick so we can get into your questions. So make sure you guys are filling the chat with your questions so that we can answer them right after this. So wide receiver news, Xavier Worthy with his shoulder injury was limited all week. He is questionable to play against the Giants on Sunday night. How do you feel about playing somebody like Worthy after what he suffered? Are you willing to play him? Is he somebody that you're just keeping on your bench and waiting?
I'm a fan of Worthy, so I tend to be a little higher than market on him in terms of ownership percentages. I am tending to bench him over other options. Let me just reach into the bag and give you one that I don't think a majority of people will probably go with. I'm starting Hunter Renfrow over Xavier Worthy this week. Again, I'm pretty big on Renfrow, so maybe a bad example, but
we're going to get into him in a minute.
I would start Hollywood Brown over Worthy. I like that Worthy probably draws rougher coverage, and I think when Brown was the second option, that's when you saw those targets for the most part. I know Worthy got injured. There's not amazing options, but I think there's enough options at wide receiver that there's at least one that I like a little bit more. It's just, I'm not saying I'm an NFL player or anything. I was a soccer player, but shoulder injuries in a contact sport is just brutal. It's something that is going to get aggravated to some extent by playing the game, and it's just about, does it get aggravated to what extent? The amount of times where that could be a first quarter and you're done, it just isn't worth it, in my opinion. It's not like it's 20 points or 0. It doesn't have to get to 20, so because of that, the upside's not there for me to risk it.
No, I understand. I'm in the same boat. I have a lot of Worthy everywhere, but a lot of leagues I had Worthy. I had Hollywood Brown, or I picked him up. So I at least have a pivot option if need be, or if I'm looking to go down that route. That's the only way that I would do it. Another receiver that is going to be playing that night is Wan'Dale Robinson. He is off the injury report. He was dealing with a foot injury, but he is good to go. Brian Thomas Jr. dealing with a wrist injury. He was full on Wednesday, limited on Thursday. He's off the injury report as of today. It's just something to keep an eye on, and that he's been dealing with in the last few weeks. So maybe that's part of, but it's also the offense as well. So just keep an eye on the Brian Thomas situation. Emeka Mbuka, he is listed as questionable. He missed practice Wednesday and Thursday and was limited on Friday. Keep an eye on this. If he's out, Sterling Shepard might be a solid option for this particular matchup in general against the Jets. They're going to be doing their cream skull uniforms this weekend, so that's always a fun time for to be able to play these guys. Sometimes they play a little better in these changing uniform situations. Xavier Legette is listed as questionable. This is why Kendall is very happy with Hunter Renfrow. Make sure you guys keep an eye on it. He is questionable right now. And they haven't really been utilizing him as much as as people thought they might. So he is somebody to keep an eye on. Jawan Jennings did not practice Wednesday or Thursday, was limited, and now is questionable. Be aware, it's ankle and shoulder. I see this as a game time decision leading up, and it's a 4:00 game, I believe. Yeah, 4:30 game. You're going to have some type of coverage. So make sure, if you're going that route, make sure you guys are ready to go. Make sure you guys throw those questions in the chat. We're going to just wrap up tight ends real quick. There's only a few, and then we're going to be handling all your questions. So Tucker Kraft is the biggest problem that we have. This happened on Thursday's practice. He tweaked his knee during practice on Thursday. They have said that they will be putting him or they are not going to be putting him on IR, but they will be monitoring it accordingly. He is listed as questionable. This scares me a little bit. When you mention the concept of IR, it just makes you think that something happened to the point where he might be out. He did not practice on Friday at all. I'm a little nervous about Tucker Kraft. Are you?
Oh yeah, 0% chance. Even if they said he's fully healthy, he's good to roll, there's no way I'm playing him this week. They see themselves as a Super Bowl contender this year.
They're gonna hold back.
They see Kraft as a huge part of that, and you don't mess around with a knee. You got to remember, tight ends. I mean, even though he's not the biggest tight end in the world, that is a lot of weight on that knee.
Oh,
this is not a 185-pound wide receiver. This is a big guy.
Yeah.
And you don't screw around with that. That's like I'm not saying career ending, but if something worse were to happen with that knee, that's this season done plus the first
100%.
half of next year. It makes that trade they just did just stupid. If that happens, it makes Jordan Love so much worse. So I think that this is like the total case of he's probably going to be active on game day and he's going to Keenan Allen you if you start him. We all know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the maybe one target game. So they have a perfectly fine backup who was drafted before him.
Yeah,
that was actually the better pass catcher in college, straight up.
And he had a better, he had a good season prior to Kraft being there. So yeah. So Tyler Warren didn't practice. Wednesday was limited Thursday and limited on Friday. He's listed as questionable, but it looks like he's good to go. There has been no indication that he won't play. Evan Ingram is ruled out. So Evan Ingram ruled out for the Denver Broncos. Adam Troutman is the backup. If you are intending to go down that road, enjoy. He has been ineffective the last few weeks, which is rough. Brock Bowers still with the knee injury. He was limited all week instead of being, back and on and off or whatever. He should play. They keep saying they're expecting him to play. I wouldn't stress too much about it, but you could see that he wasn't really heavily involved in last game, but he might be a little bit more in this. Dallas Goedert limited all week. He's off the injury report though, which is great. He's currently in a situation where he hasn't played in the last couple of weeks, so he's good to go. Kyle Pitts, he was put on the injury report on Thursday with a toe injury. He was limited in practice, but he practiced in full today. He is good to go. All right. That's all the injury news we have for you guys today. We wanted to make sure you guys had all that information going in. So make sure you guys are throwing those questions in the chat. We're going to go run through your questions from the start. If you want to have your questions answered before everybody else, throw us a super chat. We'll stop.
If you got 2 minutes to get a question answered, throw us $2, man. Let's go.
Yeah, just so that we can get it in there.
A little rent money. Keep the wives off our backs. Let's get it. What's up, Cody?
So what's going on there, Cody? Good old McGoats in the house going, fellas, not a start sit question, but would you drop Hunter Renfrow for Hollywood Brown or Josh Downs?
Oh, wait, would you drop one of these?
One of the, yeah, need a backup QB. Yes. For me, it's Renfrow.
Well, Cody, let me ask you, why do we need a backup QB? That's my bigger question. What kind of format? There's very few formats where I think we need a backup quarterback unless you're starting him. Is this where you have an injury? Like, I have a lot of leagues where Mixon was basically free at some point, and then I also have Ayuk, and it's a 2 IR spot, and then I lost my Fields or my Burrow or whatever, right? So I have an out quarterback that I can't stash on IR, so I got to use a bench spot for him, or maybe I kick Mixon out for him or something like that. I can see that, but I am curious because my first answer I lean to is you don't need a backup quarterback unless it's like a 14-team league or something crazy's happening. Because I feel there's such a flat tier at the end. But if you absolutely needed a backup quarterback for sure, it's definitely not Josh Downs. It's most likely Renfrow. Yeah. I definitely have Hollywood over Renfrow. It's an unfortunate drop, but it is what it is,
If Stafford is available, I can assume that it's a 1 QB league. In most situations, it's very rare to see him not. I'm in a bunch of 10-team super flex leagues, and Stafford's not even on the list. I think the lowest that I have is like Sam Darnold was available, and Joe Flacco and Spencer Rattler. Like, those are the guys. So I'm assuming this is 1 QB. even if he is looking for it, it could be because of Burrow. It could be because of, Jaden Daniels or something like that. I'm all for Hunter Renfrow being the guy to drop for, a Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I'm big on Renfrow. I'm just higher on those other two guys. So it looks like you're in a good position if that's who you're considering dropping.
So he said, Love is my only QB and the rate QBs are going down. I want to secure my backup. It's 12 team, 1 QB.
Cody, I still, if I'm trying to give you my best advice, you say at the rate QBs are going down, they're going to get healthy at the same rate they're going down, though, right? Fields is going to be healthy next week. Purdy could be healthy by next week or the week after. Likely next week, in my opinion. He's probably going to dress for it. And then the week after we can be looking at who else? Burrow's down for the count, but I wouldn't panic. Same thing Mike was saying. If Stafford's available, probably Rodgers and the kind of that slew, maybe Russ, something along those lines, maybe Cam Ward or something like that. I wouldn't rush to it unless if you're in like a weird casual league where everyone drafts a backup quarterback and you're like, well, because everyone's doing it, it's almost like having a bench quarterback slot that you have to fill. But if there's a few people that just aren't doing that, I wouldn't. You got to imagine there's going to be other non-quarterback injuries where everyone's going to rush to the waiver wire and half the quarterbacks that are rostered as backups are going to be back so they can drop them for the next big thing. So, your league better than I do, but in all my years in experience, I just don't think the profitable play is ever rostering a backup quarterback. For instance, I would rather have Tyler Algier on my bench in case Bijan goes down and you just auto win your league. I would rather take the 1% chance that happens over rostering a backup.
So
Cam
would
Ward,
you
Bryce
take
Young, and
Cam?
Geno.
Yeah, I would take Stafford over them any day.
Yeah, I would take Stafford over them, but if you have those three guys available on waivers, it means you also don't need Stafford, in my opinion. I would hold with what you have.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. So let's go to Benjamin Weldon. How you doing, brother? Great to have you here. If this is your first time, great to have you. I was in a league where someone put 40 to get Jonnu. Same here. Actually, one of my 1 QB leagues.
Juwan Johnson. We're talking about Juwan Johnson here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I dropped 40's a little rich for me, but I dropped 20. I dropped my highest amount, and it's $100 Fab League. I dropped 31 to get Juwan.
Yeah.
Because I knew people were going to listen. People in that league listen to the show, and I was talking. I was on 2 weeks in a row on Phil's show. I think I mentioned Juwan Johnson. I mentioned him on Dynasty show, and I think as my favorite waiver wire pickup. But
he's
yeah,
leading he's leading tight ends and targets with 20. With 13 receptions as number 2. He's doing very well overall, and he's 4th overall at the tight end spot. So can't go wrong there, my friends. I am all for.
I started him over Bowers last week. I had Bowers in a bunch of leagues. My bench was good, and I straight up was just like, I don't care about Monday. I'm just starting Juwan, and it was just the correct play, anyways. Yeah, dude, he's a legit dude, man. And don't underestimate a Kellen Moore led offense for pass catchers. Kellen Moore is magic, baby, absolute magic, and the narrative that, oh my God, the Saints are terrible. Like, in my opinion, it's like, oh my God, Derek Carr was terrible. I'm not saying their quarterbacks are amazing, but I don't think their roster is completely, crap. That's just my opinion. I think they're bad, but there's worse out in the NFL, and the NFL's got some parity. I think we're going to see some. There was a couple weeks last year. Remember in the preseason, we saw Spencer dropping some absolute dimes in the preseason. We got kind of excited for Spencer Rattler in the Dynasty community. He's got a little something to him. He's also not great, but I don't think that's crazy.
I liked him I liked him in the beginning, like when he was first coming out of college. I thought he was pretty. I thought the Saints did a good job getting him as like the heir apparent. The fact that they went over, to get Tyler Shuck, I thought was weird. So he goes, for clarity for chat, those were just comments from their news. Yeah, no, you're good, brother. I wanted to bring it up because I thought it was interesting. I knew it was from your from what we were talking about Jake Browning. So Big Bando TV, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. Yeah, love it, man. If you let us know.
That sounds like a channel. You got a channel?
Yeah.
Like and subscribe to Big Bando, baby.
So Dynasty Superflex. So this is down Kendall's alley. My QBs are Ward, Russell, and Dart. My running backs are Chase, Cook, Bucky, and Connor. Nice. Would you move a third? Connor and Renfro and DJ Moore for Penix and Tyreek? No.
Yes. Well, wait, this is Superflex, right?
Yeah. I probably wouldn't.
I mean, I'm giving Tyreek an actual 0 here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretending Tyreek doesn't exist.
That's my whole point. I'm getting a lot. I mean, that's a great amount for Penix.
A lot.
Yeah, I do too.
Here's my challenge. Big Band, I'm not going to go on a long tangent because any good answer for a Dynasty Superflex question, like this is I'm gonna rag on all the big brands out there, and I know you guys watch their shows too. But when they answer Dynasty questions, I hate it because it's always lacking nuance, lacking an individual roster. It doesn't lack any richness that an actual fantasy player needs to know, right? It's just a static take. And that's just, it's not taking into account your local league economy. How you ever seen most Dynasty trade calculators? There's a slider for draft pick value, right? Like I'm not saying at this point, like I'm definitely my own draft calculator, but you've got to mentally make that a slider depending on how your league economics work. In this case, though, I think you're packaging this big package for Penix and Tyreek when Tyreek, you're overpaying for Tyreek for sure. Like you're always overpaying for Tyreek because you can go buy Wandale for half of Tyreek and get better production straight up, right? Like there's better plays. The gem here is Penix, but why are we going for Tyreek when Penix is the real treasure we want to go for?
Yeah,
and we're overpaying
Tyreek has
for Tyreek.
a year or two left, and
if you sell Connor individually and DJ Moore individually, you're gonna get more. I think this is an example of it's not a bad trade. I think you can do better by reworking, continuing that dialogue, changing it a little bit. We're at like a B- at this trade. It's doable. I've clicked the button on B- a lot, but there's better roads ahead. I think you need to keep the negotiation train here a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. So let's get to Albert. What's going on, Albert? Great to have you here as always.
Love seeing Albert, man. I can bank on him, man.
Benjamin, don't worry. It's nothing personal. I just saw Albert first. We're going to go right to you right after. He goes, pick 2, full PPR, BTJ, Devontae Adams, Cortland Sutton.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm going to have to stick to rankings for me, and it's definitely Brian Thomas Jr. and Devontae Adams. I mean, he's got to have a bounce back game. It's going to, they're going to be going against the Texans. The only caveat I will say to that is Devin Stingley is just
good.
He's just so good, and the Jags have been so bad. Devontae Adams is a lock for me, regardless of whoever the matchup is. I don't care who they're playing. They're playing the Eagles. That's fine. Cortland Sutton is he had the bad week last week, and everyone's going to kind of fade him a little bit. Going against the Chargers, 46-point over/under. I don't hate that matchup. But it's hard for me to tell you to play Sutton over BTJ.
I think BTJ is going to out-target him.
Sutton might outproduce.
It's one of those. I think it's a bridge too far. I haven't seen enough from Sutton to say he's a better play, where I've historically seen enough from BTJ to say that he's a better NFL player in a game that I think has a higher potential to put up more points. There's worse offenses, but I think there's just a bigger fireworks show of incompetent defenses and offensive weapons that can supersede them. So it's close, but give me BTJ and Devontae.
Yeah. Sorry there, Albert. Those are the two that we're gonna go with. Mm-hmm. Benjamin, he goes Scary Terry with Mariota or Quentin Johnston versus Denver. Quentin Johnston has been pretty consistent lately.
Yeah, he's doing.
I know he's going against
Patrick touchdown a game.
I know, man, but hey, Patrick Surtain has not been Patrick Surtain the last couple weeks.
Yeah, man.
And he's a little banged up.
Is Surtain really taking QJ though?
I mean, he kind of has to, I would assume because
Surtain's not guarding the slot.
Well, no, that was my whole point. Like Quinn Johnston is on the outside. He's playing the X. I mean, McConkey's playing the middle, and McConkey has, strangely enough, have seen less targets and less production comparatively to Quentin Johnston. Johnston's had 7 targets each game. The last 2 games, he's had 7 targets, and he only had the 3 catches last week, but he's had a touchdown in every game that he's played so far. That's not, I'm not saying that that's consistent. You're not going to be able to have that every week, but
targets, yeah.
Those are valuable targets for him. If you look at, like, last week, we saw against the Broncos, we saw guys, we saw Tyler Warren do okay. We saw Josh Downs do okay. Alec Pierce did good on the outside, and Michael Pittman did okay. They didn't have like world beating days. 4 receptions and the most for 76 or 79 yards. So I mean, it's not the end of the world, but they were getting beat against Daniel Jones. At this point, I don't know how I feel about Terry with Mariota. I don't like Mariota. So I'm a little bit lower on Terry. And, this game alone, I mean, who are they playing this week? They're playing the Raiders. That's not a horrible matchup. They're at home, so it's a little bit better. West Coast coming east is never a fun time, especially at the 1:00 game. You're always going to have a little bit of East Coast, favoritism, if you will. I think I'm still going Johnston here.
Yeah, I gotta disagree.
I know. I love Terry, but I don't like Mariota.
Let me see if I can convince you. I won't pull on your arm too much, but let me give you something to ponder in terms of what my rationale is here, right? So don't agree with my take. Just pick a take, right? So my thing with, let's attack QJ for a second. We are saying QJ, he's caught a touchdown every time. He's getting all these targets. Okay, certainly happens, right? We're seeing this with Cortland Sutton, though. Cortland Sutton is a better player, and he's also like the actual one. Okay, here's the thing. Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey are on that team, meaning QJ is sharing with at least 2 other pretty elite mouths. So, and they've been putting up a lot of points. Okay, I personally think that the team knows it needs to get its running game going, or it will not have the season it needs to.
Agreed.
I think they're going to do whatever it takes to get Omari and Hampton into the end zone. He had a bad gaff. Bad things happened last week. I think they have good enough coaching where they know it's going to be awkward if the run game's still bad. I think they're going to try to get the running game figured out. If QJ doesn't score a touchdown, I think you're going to want Terry. Whenever the case is take away the touchdowns, and I would take this guy, touchdowns are the least sticky stat out there. Even though it feels pretty sticky, QJ is getting the valuable targets. I like Terry for the simple fact that the run game may be a little bit tough. I think the Raiders have a pretty decent line. I think the way to beat the Raiders is not going to be taking Bill and just hoping something happens. I think they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit. And I do think that Mariota is going to clearly go with his first read a little bit more often than not. I don't like either as a smash play, but I'm going to take the better talent, the better one. And I just don't trust QJ yet. It's 2 games where he's had a touchdown, but he's caught less than 50% of his targets in that game. If he doesn't have a touchdown, he's 3 for 7. He just doesn't have the game you think he does, right? So it's close. I am taking Terry. Mostly not because I like Terry, but mostly because I think the QJ feels safe, but he's not. He's just not safe yet. It's 2 weeks in, and I don't buy it.
That's fair. I just rather have the better quarterback in this matchup overall. I don't see anything that's scaring me with Surtain at this point. They do, like you said, they do have other options. Keenan Allen's been killing it the last few weeks. Currently leads the team in targets and catch rate, and has 2 touchdowns on the year compared to Quinton Johnson.
How good is your team that is your call though? That's got to be a flex call, right? Your team's
it's definitely a flex call. So I mean, it's one of those scenarios, man, where I feel good about Quentin Johnston. It's one of those things where I feel more confident in the QB play than I do in anything else for this. So for me, it's the QB. It has nothing else to do with anything that I'm taking everything that Kendall said with a grain of salt, but at the end of the day, I like Herbert better. and they will find a way to make it work with
It's a
them.
good
because
argument. Tell you,
He's
if- yeah.
but he's averaging 7 targets a game.
You know where I agree with you though, Mike, is if you think your opponent, if you look at the roster, and you're like, I'm probably not favored. I'm going QJ if I need big points because I think Terry's stealing is kind of low.
I was just gonna say, if you faced off against like a Josh Allen or James Cook last night, one of those two guys, like if you're facing one of those guys, you know, that last week, I'd be going QJ without even thinking twice. If it was something like you were facing Keon Coleman, then I would be a little bit more on the Terry boat just because of the floor being a little bit higher, if you will.
Trying to find some tiebreakers in a weird spot.
That's the only tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So Cody goes T-Mac or Keenan Allen, full PPR. We were just
T-Mac,
talking about
baby.
Keenan.
That's T-Mac all day, baby.
Oh, really?
Well, okay, let me give you one very quick take on this.
Actually, no, I'm gonna agree with you, and it's
they're
because of AJ Tyrell
scripted.
being out.
We all know, like, look, scripted plays, first 10, whatever, couple drives. Right. I think the number of times that T-Mac starts the first quarter off with 3 to like actually just 4 catches in the first 4 minutes of the game, you know, on the first drive is really high. So in full PPR, I think he just literally starts the first quarter with 5 points. I'm not saying Allen's bad, but I think I just literally they're giving T-Mac the easy targets and then he can find the tough ones later on. But I think they're going to build so many damn touches for him. And
that's the crazy part for me for a lot of these. Like this is another comparison with Mariota. You know, the same type of question for me in that same context. I'm either getting Bryce Young or freaking Justin Herbert, who's been killing it lately. And if you look at their catch rates, they're bad. He's at 57.9% catch rate, and at this point, he leads the team in total targets with 19. Yes, that's fantastic. Great. Good job. But those are horrible quality of target. And he doesn't even have a touchdown on the year. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, that's the defining factor. Touchdowns are something that we hope for. But at the end of the day, like the only caveat to this, and this is, like I said, if we're comparing those two things where I'm, we're trying to figure out two really good players and, you know, trying to figure out the little, you know, nuances to kind of lean my way. T-Mac is not going to be facing AJ Tyrell. That's going to be he's out for today's, for the game on Sunday. That's a huge deal. And a lot of people don't understand that he is a shutdown corner. I am all good with playing T-Mac in this particular scenario, even though I like Keenan Allen a little more. I'm going to play T-Mac because it's a better scenario. Because he's just more guaranteed. He's averaging 9 targets a game. So
Cody, you got to come draft with us, man, because you're doing a lot of things right.
Cody has drafted with us in the past, and he's been around forever with us, so he knows.
Like, if I'm asking myself that question, my opponent's having a bad day.
Well, this is another one of those questions where we either go with Matthew Golden or new baby daddy Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
old PPR.
Okay, look, I'm going with it right now. I 100% buy into the new baby narrative. Okay, this is a thing. The revenge narrative's a thing. Well, the new baby's a thing.
The revenge game is more,
me,
but it's
me
not
and
a revenge game.
Wives are both pregnant right now.
Yeah, I know.
Give me some Stephon Diggs. I'm so in on Drake May this week. I'm in on Stephon Diggs. I will be betting Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown. Nice. I'm not going so far as to guarantee it, but Stephon Diggs is going to score a touchdown this week. It's going to happen. That being said, Golden does get a bump because Kraft is not going to be around, so I think Golden could have a better week, but I think the Packers defense is so stupid good and they can lean on the run that Golden could smoke a pack of cigs on the sideline and just not be needed, where I do think Stephon Diggs will. They need a reliable target. The O-line's not quite there yet. The passing attempts for May are clearly going to outweigh Green Bay's, in my opinion. I think Diggs is the safer play and also higher likelihood for a red zone look.
Yeah, Diggs for me, right now, Golden is only averaged 2 catches per game. And hasn't really been involved that much. Diggs is at least averaging 6 targets a game and being a little bit more
on his ramp
active.
up. This is on
well, that's what I mean.
None of us were expecting Diggs to be much before week 4. If anything, he's more ahead of schedule than I think I was personally planning.
I knew. Well, I kind of figured he went out in week 3, so right now is his year mark. So I'm okay with that. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
So I am all good playing Stephon Diggs here. So let's go to X Mutal. Wait, how do you say this? X Multi?
Multi.
What's up, man?
X
Multi. X Multi. What's up, man? So he goes Ridley or Mbuka. Now, I'm just going to give the caveat that Mbuka is questionable at this point. Even if he plays, I'm probably
they're playing
gonna be
against the
leaning-
Jets with Tyrod Taylor. I mean, they're gonna blow them out of the water, right?
I'm on Ridley just because I rather have that. But here's my only caveat for that: Kenny Moore. You guys, if you don't know who Kenny Moore III is, look him up. Guy has been real good the last few weeks. He's the one that shut down good old Cortland Sutton last week. He's the one that shut down Tyreek Hill and Waddle the week before. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I love Igbuka's usage. I love that they're getting him involved in the screen game a little bit.
Too.
I mean, that changed the game for me in a huge way. Like that's why I thought Hunter, and it's why I think Hunter is still going to do quite good this year because they're having these designed looks. He just hasn't broken one, but the screen game is just so good if you're a good athlete. I'm starting a lot of people over Igbuka just because I am worried that I think it could be 27-0 in the first half. Like I think it could be so one-sided so fast. That I know the Ridley game is going to be more competitive the whole way.
I just don't like Cam Morton.
Yeah.
I
don't hate
situation.
him, but better every day. This one is really tough. Yeah. Again, this is one of those. Ridley's probably like the safer floor. I think. Actually, no. This one is tough.
It is. It's definitely.
Wow, this is the toughest one you guys have had yet.
I'm actually kind of glad that if I didn't use Mbuka in a thumbnail, I might have used this instead.
This is gross, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm still going Ridley. Ridley's still the one. He hasn't had a game yet, but we're having a small sample size. He looked great in the preseason. The chances that Ridley has a 5 for 80 game is just still pretty high. He's always been a red zone wonderkin. Ridley has an absolute eye for it. Give me Ridley. Yeah, give me Ridley this week. It's close, but yeah.
Honestly, their numbers are pretty like the same for the most part. Both have like 14. Ridley has 14 to Mbuka's 13 targets. Both are averaging 6 to 7 targets per game. Both are around the 50 to 60% catch rate, and Mbuka has the edge because he has the 3 touchdowns. Ridley right now, I just would prefer. It's just a little bit of a tougher matchup. Cam Ward overall is not a good quarterback. I don't really like him too much, but at least he's averaging volume to be a little bit productive. Mbuka, I'm just worried about re-aggravation and then being out for a little bit. They might try to pull him back a little bit, and then it's a lot of Sterling Shepard. So for me, I'll take Ridley, even though I don't feel confident.
Indy's offense is kind of doing its thing. At least give me the narrative that the fourth quarter is going to be Tennessee passing the football, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's only been up, and Colts are favored by 4. So, I mean, at this point, I don't mind that narrative. If you want to, say that they're going to have to throw to keep it competitive. Yeah. So
the Bucs got a good run game, man. Rashad White did not look bad. Him plus Bucky is kind of like a what
I agree.
Do? They
have a great. They're going to have good success moving forward once they get everything back to normal. So D Premier is telling us about the concept with Kraft saying he tweaked his knee at one point against the Commanders too. He did. He was out for a minute. Hopefully the rest of him, a couple weeks. So I agree.
Kraft owners are like, dude, don't screw around with this, man. I want to play for week 17 here, man.
It was kind of funny. I was with my buddy at the bar last night, and we were at a golf outing after, and I was telling him, I'm like, yo, I don't know if you know, Tucker went down, and Braxton's like, no, he didn't. He was fine. I'm like, you might want to look at that again, brother. And he's just like, huh? And he's like, I'm telling you, man, it doesn't look good. And he thought I was screwing with him. I'm like, no. I don't screw around with that shit. When I tell you that he's hurt, he's hurt. So, we'll wait and see how that turns out. This is a better tight end question for us there from Benjamin. Goddard or Hawkinson?
Ooh.
This is a better one.
You know what? Actually, this one's pretty easy for me. I have a feeling about it. I'm fully going Hawkinson.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm very much buying into the narrative that JJ McCarthy has looked like absolute trash for all but one quarter. Okay. I'm blaming JJ. I'm not blaming TJ. I mean, how good has Justin Jefferson been? As good as he can be, right? When they're behind, it's like, okay, we're going to throw to Justin Jefferson, not TJ Hawkinson. I think Carson Wentz, despite who he is, I think he's a guy that can spread the ball around a little bit more. He has less loyalty to any particular player. Hawkinson is a good player. I think Hawkinson's a better tight end than Goddard, particularly in the pass game. The Vikings are down Aaron Jones, so they're going to have to start Jordan Mason. I have a good feeling. I call it intuition. I don't think Hawkinson has a big game. I think he has like a 5 for 7, 6 for 7, and 60 yards, just like a get right, feel good game.
Nice.
I don't know that Goddard needs to.
Okay.
We were talking in the pre-show about the Eagles a little bit, and there's just the narrative is AJ Brown is going to hurt somebody if Goddard out targets him. All right. If AJ Brown is even halfway open and Goddard gets a target, like there's gonna be anarchy on that team. They need to get Devonta Smith involved. They need to get AJ Brown involved. I do not see this as a Goddard 7 target game because I think that's not going to be fun for them to explain with their pass catcher situation. And I think it's better for Hawkinson. So give me Hawk there.
Yeah, I have to lean Hawk a little bit too. The 7 catches for 7 targets on 7 catches in his one game that he's played this year is huge. I mean, that's a good target, a good amount of target share, 15% of their target share. That's not horrible. But the thing is that they don't like throwing the ball anywhere else. They haven't been throwing the ball. I like Hawkinson a little bit more just because of Wentz coming in. Wentz does know how to, throw it to the guys that are open. Hawk is usually pretty good at getting open. And in this particular game, I am all for using this type of, going against the Bengals. It's going to be, even though it's a 41.5 point over under right now, I think that this game could be very interesting overall. It's just going to be. I
kind of think it could too, actually. Yeah, I think this game could be kind of an interesting, like, let's leave it out in the field and have some fun and see what happens.
Yeah, D Premier, he goes, it's the year of the toe and foot guys having a great time. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's the toe and the shoulder. Like every year there's always like a theme. If you've noticed, like me, I'm a big trend guy. Like I look for trends in my daily job. This is shoulder, toe are the 2 main injuries that have been going on the last few weeks. Crazy. Don't understand it.
Well, Mike, you're in a little PT action, man. I mean, what's going on in the waters out there, man?
PT. I do QA.
Oh, that's right. I got that.
No, I do QA. I do quality assurance. So for me, it's trends on a lot of different things. I'm more in the healthcare field with that type of stuff. So we find all those little fun nuances. Cody goes Swift or Bill Crosskey Merritt. This is a tougher one.
That's gross. Just
I'm going to go with Bill.
Start a Bear player.
Go with Bill. I'm going to go Bill.
I'm going Bill.
Yeah, I like Bill. Swift being a little injured, going against Cowboys, who actually been doing okay against the run.
Swift hasn't looked good when healthy. When injured,
no. But on top of that, the over/under is 50. That's the only caveat that makes me want to switch to Swift. But I do like the 43-point over/under. It's just a nice even window. They're at home facing the Raiders. I like it, but the hard part's gonna be Max Crosby. So hopefully they can find a way to stay away from him. Because he was very good against Hampton last week. That's
a good point.
This is when we were talking about Rattler. So
that's Dime Sniffer. What's going on, man? Wait a minute. I need to. What
that is
his,
Dime Sniffer.
What is his name there?
Dimes. Oh, Robert.
Is that your actual name? He's in like 5 of my leagues. I needed to know his actual name now. He's a trade maestro in Dynasty. There, I doing some homework on my guys there, man. What's up, Dime? Though, good to see you, man.
So we got Penny Feather here. Should I start Goddard or Fannin?
Gotta give you credit. This is one of the coolest names I have ever seen on here. Right. Ignatius Pennyweather the Ninth. Yeah. This is such like a D&D player character name if I've ever seen one. This is wonderful. I want you in a league tomorrow. Okay, this is just too good. Too good. You should start Fannin, though. You should definitely start Fannin.
I'm going to go Goddard, and I understand what we just said. I would rather have Goddard. I can't fathom playing Fannin, especially after the week. Like, you get him for the 1 week, and then he fails you the next. Goddard is more consistent, a better tight end overall, better team, better scenario. The game is close enough with 3.5 that it's going to be, relatively close. I'm going to stick with Goddard.
You're probably right. This is one of those. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be wrong versus being right, I don't know. It's one of those. I don't see a ceiling with Goddard. I think is my chance at the tight end position. I'm always looking for. Well, you guys all suck. Even Brock Bowers, you kind of suck for me this year. And if y'all suck, give me somebody that can give me some sort of hope. And I'm not getting it with Goddard. But if they both have mediocre games, you should probably listen to Classic. If one of them's going to score 15 points, though, it's not Goddard. That's my only caveat there.
Fair enough. So X multi. My dad's team has Isaiah Likely at tight end. The best free agent is Kyle Pitts and Hunter Henry. Should I keep Isaiah or Kyle Pitts or go for Henry?
Well, so Likely still not. This is for backup, right? This is not playing though, right? You're not starting any of these?
My dad's team has Isaiah Likely at tight end. Best free agent is you should have already picked up one of these two
because Likely's still
Likely's been out
right?
for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, he's out until at least week.
If this is just a waiver question, let's answer it twice, Mike. Can we answer twice? We answer once for bench, once for if we have to start one of Pitts versus Henry. That's a quick question we can answer. Who do you have on your bench?
I'm probably going to be picking Hunter. No, I'm actually that's a lie. I'm going to be picking Kyle Pitts and playing Kyle Pitts.
I'm going Pitts over Hunter if I have to start Panthers. Yeah. I like Hunter Henry, but
but it's too inconsistent.
I like Kyle Pitts a little bit more. London has been banged up. Everyone on that team's been banged up. He's actually been starting out okay. I actually think this is more of if they hit a game that has a big. If they score 40 points, I think Pitts will be a big part of it. I just don't think they've put up a ton of points or had to, but if they do, that'll happen. In terms of
currently
bench stash,
11.
Bench stash,
Kyle Pitts.
I think it's still Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I want to say Likely really bad, but Kyle Pitts might still be a better talent. Honestly.
Until you're going to keep Isaiah Likely and you're going to drop somebody else, and if you're going to and then use Kyle Pitts, don't drop Isaiah Likely. Like, I'm not going to tell you to drop it.
If you can keep Likely, and especially if you have an IR spot, probably not the case, but I'm starting Likely. If I have to bench some, I'm starting Pitts, and we're on the same page, Mike. Yeah, that's close though. I guess I'm mentioning I do like the Likely pickup if you can afford it, but
yeah. So D Premier goes, BTJ only really produced in the NFL with Mac Jones. What point that become a real problem? I don't disagree with you. I am completely seeing the exact same thing you are, and it's weird that Mac Jones is the one that was the key to unlocking BTJ. I'm getting to a point where it's a little concerning, where we're only in week 2, and he's been underproducing what we thought he would, especially for a second-round pick that you invested in. Trevor Lawrence, man,
dude, it does not look good.
The line looks bad. He looks bad. They're focusing on the run, which is fine. It's trying to take a little bit off of him, but he just isn't able to do what he's been doing last year, and it's a little upsetting. They did went with Travis Hunter for whatever reason. I get the dual threat thing, but he's better as an offensive weapon over a defensive back. He hasn't done anything on the defensive back side. So maybe it's because they were looking to I don't know. I am still in shock as much as everybody else.
Depp, I'll answer this one because I own BTJ everywhere, and yes, I am pouring very cheap whiskey during this take for a lot of reasons that everyone in Dynasty with me absolutely knows. I am over invested in BTJ and buying more because I have a problem. Okay, Depp, let me just tell you, I watched every single snap of that game. I'm doing my best to maintain just an analyst even keel situation, right? But I did watch that game, okay? And in the red zone, when down, I saw them throw to BTJ, then throw to BTJ, and let's throw him one more. I mean, he was the Did you guys watch the Texans game the other day when it was like we have 2 players on our team? It's our quarterback and then Nico Collins, and it was just that's kind of what they were doing with BTJ. And I will absolutely look BTJ in the face, looking up at him, and say, look, you could have had a better game. There were a couple of drops there,
100%.
But they were fingertips. I think the red zone was more of, I think it should credit a drop for him. He should have had a touchdown that game.
That one
we
was
would be
huge.
having this conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm saying on those, what was 13, 14 targets? 4 or 5 of those were fingertips away from 20 to 30-yard gains minimum. If 50% of those go the other way, he has 80 yards and a touchdown. And this is not remotely a question. And because it was fingertips, but the narrative was we're going to feed him early and often in the red zone, he is our best player. And here's what we're going to do. I think it's naturally going to correct itself. Like I agree with him that he only produced with Mac Jones. But he should have produced the other day. It was a combination of faults. But if you replay that game, if you redo those snaps 10 more times, I think he's going to regress positively quite often. And it was just a bit of a poor luck situation. Hence why everyone in the community is talking about him as buy low, but no one is selling him. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned because quarterback play, like Mike has been saying, is a real thing. Sometimes you just bet on better offenses because game scripts can go in 16,000 ways. And when the offense is good, it makes all of those situations more skewed in your favor. I'm still not worried quite yet. With 14 targets, if you catch half of 14 targets, it's a 7-catch game. Like we can have an inefficient season and still have a pretty good year with him though. But I'm not worried quite yet on his talent. I am worried that Trevor might be toast, and I own him in Dynasty, and that is real panic.
Oh, I do too as well. I mean, right now, his particular
Mac Jones might be better than Trevor. Like can we talk about like that might
gross.
be a thing, man.
Well, and I mean, right now, if you look at his numbers, he had 7 targets in week 1, 12 in week 2, had a total of 20 or at 19 altogether, averaging 9 targets per game, 5 receptions out of those 19 targets, a 26% catch rate. That's horrible. That's just really bad. Now, you can blame that on the wide receiver as much as you like. That's on the QB. The QB should be making that a little bit better. When you can get a guy like Parker Washington, a 5 for 5 in week 2, and be at 100% catch rate, Naomi Brown, 72% catch rate, and Travis Hunter on top of that at a 67 or 64%. Fuck, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Brendan Strange is currently at a 70, 77%, and I don't even know what to do with him. And I'm so happy. I was so happy when I got him. So, I mean, it's getting to a point where it looks more like either the offense or Trevor Lawrence, and it's not one of them. So
BTJ let the game come to him last year. Yeah. This year as the guy, Mike, we both played sports a little bit back in our day before we got all old and drank too much and all that good stuff.
Already there.
Look, I truly think mentally BTJ knew that it's like one of those, I need to do so much with this target because everything's going wrong. I think part of the mental mistake was he just needed to make something happen. And after something went wrong, he needed to make more happen. And you just got to relax and calm down. And I think coaching, this is one where coaching needs to step in and step up. And I hope 100%. That happens.
Yeah, we can only hope. So Rafi Bomb, wow, for those that are in the 1990s. Rafi goes, does RJ Harvey see some Joker play with Ingram out? No.
We need to get like a coaching fly-in for the Joker. This needs to be, once we have a soundboard and an actual production quality, we're gonna get that one hooked up, man. Maybe. I don't think so yet.
I don't think so.
They have a trio of great wide receivers they have to screw
They're gonna
us
be
with.
fine.
If you spent fab on a wide receiver on that team, you might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Who knows? But not yet.
You'll be fine. So Cody goes, by the way, the one guy over at the Sweet Life predicted the spread correct on that game last night. Hey man, to be fair, for any game that is over 12, you should be going with the underdog, and especially if they're division matchups, always anything above 8 points should pretty much be going to the underdog in most scenarios, especially division rivals.
Wait, didn't they covered, right?
Yeah, they covered. So it was 12.5, and it was only 8 or 9 or something like it was.
It was 12.5.
Yeah, 12.5.
Whoa! I thought it was 8.5.
Nope.
Oh man.
Oh no, it was 12, but still, and it was 10 points. So
yeah.
So Andre, what's going on, man? He says, never thought I'd be asking this, but Genty or Mason this week, or my other running backs, or Bucky and James Cook. You didn't play James Cook?
Wait a minute. Wait. Genty, Mason, Bucky, James Cook. Andre, what kind of league are we running here, man?
I mean, if
you're starting all four of them, right?
Well, I was going to say, you can definitely start all four. He definitely drafted all four because he definitely got Genty in the first, Cook in the second, Bucky in the late third, and then picked up Mason.
No, but Bucky in second, Cook in the third, right? But
whatever, it doesn't matter.
Either way.
Yeah.
Wow,
I'm playing everybody here. If you have to pick between, like at this point, if you're picking between Genty and Mason, I unfortunately need to tell you, Genty.
Definitely Genty, yeah.
I mean, it's Genty and Bucky. You know, I hope you played James Cook last night.
Yeah, right. I'm guessing the idea here is Bucky and James Cook are he's just letting us know that those are his go-to guys. He's starting, and now he's like flexing.
So. Oh, if he's flexing
Genty
and Mason, then I'm going Genty.
It's still Genty. Like, here's the thing: Mason's getting the start, but they're down their quarterback, right? Yeah. Like the offense
Teams
takes
load
a pretty
the box.
big. I'm a pretty big Mason believer. I really am, but you really have to go Genty here.
Teams load the box. It makes it a little bit harder. Mason does pretty good in between the tackles. Bengals can be beat on the ground, but I prefer Genty in general. He's looked good in the last few weeks. Yes, he's going to be less out on pass pro because he's shown that he can't pass block, unfortunately, and Dylan Lobby and Zaire White are a little bit better at doing that. So, Cody going, give me my shameless plug. Yeah, I know. I tried. But yeah, I'm sticking with Genty for that one.
Yeah, me too.
Benjamin goes Lost Burrow, Daniel Jones or Drake May, and I know your answer.
Drake May, let's go. Fire me up some Drake May, baby. Let's get it.
You know what? I might jump on board this Drake May train, but it's so hard to go against what Daniel Jones has gone and done the last few weeks. A good matchup against Titans 0-2. They're favored. I'm going to go Daniel Jones, and it feels gross.
I mean, I live in Indiana, and I have never wanted to go to a screen printing company more. I have two of them as clients right now, and I'm telling you, I want so bad to make the Daniel Jones Indiana Jones shirt so bad. It's super fun.
I will send it back to you.
Super fun. Yeah, if you make one, man, back. Hook it up.
So Rafi Bomb goes full PPR. RJ Harvey or Bill?
Ooh, no help from me. Classic. I want you to answer first.
Bill.
All right, we're same here. Yeah, for sure.
Let's go, Bill. Yeah, you got to remember. I understand that everyone thinks it's going to be a three-headed monster with Jeremy McNicholas and McNicholas and Chris Rodriguez. Yes, he needs to do better in pass pro. They even said it. Cliff Kingsbury basically was saying he needs to do better without the ball, and that's completely true. But he also said in the same sentence that they need to give him the ball more. So it's one of those things where they need to get him more involved. They need to hand the ball off to him a lot more. They should have did it in the last game. I didn't understand why they didn't in the first place. He only had like a limited amount of touches. He's not going to not see the ball. RJ Harvey has been useful to a point, but against the Chargers, I'm not too big on it. I really don't see it yet. I like Bill a little bit more.
Yep, I'm in. Bill.
Awesome. Benjamin goes. Oh, you already asked that question. So, thank you, Benjamin. We both greatly appreciate that. I will cheers that one as well.
I need some good. I think we have our we have our boy name. We don't have a girl name picked out. This is a surprise for me. So if anyone's if any fans of the league, no Chalupa Batmans over here, but I need some girl name suggestions. So if you got some,
I've been trying to see if I can buy the rights to my friend's baby's name, and unfortunately, I might have to beat him in fantasy for that one. So we're going to have to wait and see how that goes. And then I could name their child Chalupa Batman. That would be cool. So Rafi goes, full PPR. This sounds like a disgusting question. It all does. Drake London or Jacoby Myers. London is one more bad week for me changing his name to Amber Heard and shitting.
Oh, my God. I should super chat you, Rafi.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Oh jeez.
So
wow. Well, I'm still going London. I'm going London this week for sure.
God, man. I can't with you, Rafi. Oh, you make me laugh so much.
I'm also mostly thinking this is maybe a get right week. Roll them sleeves up on Genty. If Genty goes up, Jacoby maybe fades just a little bit. And I need Bowers to finally do something. He's been like kind of I think this is the week that maybe Jacoby settles down just a little bit. We need to see Beck more involved. Your boy, Mike, Donta Thornton, is looking okay. Jacoby's great. I love Jacoby, but there's a lot of narratives where Jacoby's just okay. I do like him, but London's due up, man. Let's get London.
Here's my 2 cents there, Rafi. So London is going to be going against J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn is actually one of the better cornerbacks in the league. He is probably a top 10, if not top 7 cornerback in the league. He is very good at shutting down people when and if needed. I do understand the narrative of the concept that basically all they're doing is running it with Bijan. They got to stop that at one point because they need to be able to give him a break. He's a great player, but they need to spread the ball out a little more. Against the Panthers, that's what they should be doing. They should be able to do this. They know this team a little bit. They're favored in this point at 5. I mean, I like London better, but I understand the reasoning for Jacoby Myers. I really, really, really do. He has been doing very well the last few weeks. With his production, he has currently, let me get his numbers. He has currently been doing, oh my God, he's been doing 10, 12 targets per game. You can't not argue something like that. Yeah, he hasn't had a touchdown, but 63% catch rate on, averaging 11 targets a game.
He's a good player.
I can't not like I might have to say Myers here because this is not a horrible option. I understand the reasoning. I really, really do. Like it. I mean, seriously, like I can't see it right now. London's averaging 9 targets a game, and it was from the week 1 game. He had 15 targets. He had 4 in week 2. He was banged up after week 1. Came in, played anyway. Got 11 from that. 57% catch rate, no touchdowns currently. I mean, but he's 32%, or he's 30% of the team's target share. Jacoby Myers is right at that 30 mark, so they're both right at each other. I mean, honestly, I might have to lean with Jacoby because they're just targeting the shit out of him.
Hear me out. Why are we not starting both of them?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, find a way to put them in your flex.
Is there a different odd man? Like, Rafi, can we kick someone else out? Why can't I start them both? I really want to start them both, man.
Yeah, I want to find a way to make it work. But
London is pretty close to like an anytime touchdown bet for me this week in a game where I assume that with like a billion red zone looks, like the coaching staff has to do the like, should we like keep London happy? Yeah, we should like just can we get London a touchdown?
Hopefully.
Please?
I mean, I don't see him
Even
even
Bijan should be like, dude, you should throw London the ball, man. He's been like he's been drawn with some black crayons on the sidelines, like he's not happy, like hook him up.
I don't even see him inside of any
here we
plays.
go. Egbuka will be the kick out. Yeah, I'm kicking out Egbuka I'm definitely starting Jacoby Myers over Egbuka, and I'm starting London over Egbuka. In that game script, Egbuka could just not be needed. We got to the bottom of it there. There we go.
I'm taking out Egbuka for sure for those two.
No shade on Egbuka. It actually has nothing to do with the injury.
No,
a little bit. But
well,
it's more,
a little bit for me. I mean, comparatively, yes.
Injury plus, like, they're going to stomp the absolute piss out of the Jets.
Yeah. So I'm play the two of them over Mbuka. Benjamin goes Marvin Harrison Jr. or Mbuka, standard scoring. I'm gonna still go. I want to go Mbuka. I want to go Mbuka, and it's only because he's had the 3 touchdowns. But at the end of the day, I think they need to get Marv more involved. They had the question this week about the concept of getting Marv more involved. I might go Marv, but it's a scary bet.
Yeah, this one does feel pretty close. I still think narrative wise, it's like who in the red zone.
Yeah,
they're not going to Ibuka. They're going to Evans if they can. Like,
most of the time.
Baker loves doing he literally. We've heard him mic'd up when he a post Evans touchdown. He's like, "This is the easiest play in the NFL." Like, it's just you know what I mean. Like, I can see that team consciously saying like, "Let's try to get." Marvin involved a little bit more.
They need to.
In a matchup, they can make it happen. And in a matchup where Egbuka's injured and doesn't even need to play this game. He doesn't need to play the whole second half. He literally does not need to be on the field. If for a team that we're all expecting like big things from. The narrative that Egbuka could have a 51% snap share because he's not needed, it's real.
Yeah, it's definitely real. So yeah, I'm gonna go in Marvin Harrison Jr. Ray, what's going on, Ray? Great to have you here. We kind of had this question before, but we're getting the little added bonus of Jameson Williams. It's JMO.
Yeah, I'm with you.
A big 50. I think it's a 53.5 point over under for this game. They're not favored. They are underdogs in this game by 5. I love Jameson Williams in this matchup. If they can get him the ball, that would be fantastic. Riders, what's going on, man? He goes,
hey, what's going on, buddy?
He goes Golden, Ridley, Josh Downs, half PPR. It's Ridley. Yeah, it's Ridley for me. And
it's not Josh Downs. I can tell you, and that pains me. You know how much that pains me.
I like it. I want it to be Josh Downs, but it's not.
I do. I want it to be Josh Downs.
I like how
he's got no touchdown upside.
To Daniel Jones's credit, he's been spreading the ball out a little more than normal.
Yeah, I mean, Downs was 8 for 6. He had the hammy. He's coming back. He'll have better days. Give me the narrative on Ridley. This is half PPR, so touchdowns are elevated, and Josh Downs just. We're talking about JT getting vultured, let alone Josh Downs, right? Yeah. So yeah, it's got to be Ridley here.
Yeah. So Ray going, I'm 0-2 with the most points in the league. Insane. That sucks, man. I hate that shit. That's one of my least favorite things when I see somebody that's 0-2 and or if I'm 0-2 and I'm the one that's leading in points. And I get hammered. Like I remember a couple of years ago, I was the highest team against, and I was like in 8th the whole year. And I'm just sitting there like, I just I get beat on everyone's best week. It's horrible.
Okay, classic impromptu question for you.
Sure.
How do you feel? And you have to be hyperbolic. You cannot take middle ground. You either have to be hyperbolically for or against it. Okay. Leagues with you get a win for the median, above or below the median, win-loss.
I hate that shit, but I understand it. Yeah, I've always been. The only leagues I've ever done that in is Scott Fish, and I hate the concept, but I understand the concept. I rather stick with the general premise of it, and then as long as my league is set in a way that it doesn't bother me at the end of the year, then I'm fine. Because if I come out on top, like last year, I think I was 4th and I had the most points against, so I was doing well against these teams that were, having better weeks here and there. but I don't know. I feel more comfortable in waters that I've swam in, and the ones that I've swam in with the non-median one. I always feel like in one way or another, it just doesn't work for me. I've always just been the margin, the median thing. It's just,
They call you Classic Mike for a reason, right? They should call
That's
you
what I'm here
Standard
for.
Mike, right?
well, I hate standard leagues, but
We shouldn't do that.
yeah.
I guess I'm kind of in on the
I know. I understand it. I might have to talk to my friends about it, but like it's more just because it's something new.
Can I give you 30 seconds, not to twist your arm, but to give you something to consider?
We'll talk about it later because I don't want to. No,
fair.
No, I don't want to do it. So 3PIC fail. Nice. Superflex QB2 Wentz, Mac Jones, Tyrod Taylor, Mac Jones. Yeah, he's better than both, all three of them, and Tyrod's not going to do shit. Cody going, am I crazy for considering Illuminor over Garrett Wilson?
Look, Illuminor over Garrett Wilson. You're not crazy, I don't think.
You're not crazy.
I would do it though.
No, I wouldn't do it. Tyrod's smart enough to target his main guy. I mean, to give you perspective, my rankings have Illuminor at 57 and I have Garrett Wilson at 11. That's too big of a disconnect for me to even think that it's like I'm in the wrong here. No, like I think you are overthinking it a little bit.
Yeah, I know where he's thinking. I've had to bench Garrett Wilson for some names I didn't want to start over him, but not Ellick, and I like Ellick too, but Ellick's got some quarterback issues too that he's still kind of figuring out. At a minimum, I think Garrett Wilson's probably going to see 12 targets that game because they're going to be from behind, and I don't, I at least 6 catches for Garrett Wilson. Not to mention he's
Bucks you can beat through the air. They're going to find a way. And you can't. It's hard to stop. Honestly, the hard part for them is not having 3 offensive linemen that they lost. Yeah, so, I mean, they are just beat up on the offensive line. They're going to have to find a way to get him the ball quick. That's the game that you're going to have to play.
You think Breece Hall has a chance to catch like 8 passes?
I hope so.
And be like vintage Breece Hall pass catcher?
Tyrod is more of a dumper than most guys. I know.
Pun intended?
A little bit of a pun intended. My wife laughs all the time about the amount of sexual puns for football, and she just can't stop laughing when she listens to like Troy Aikman, doing some type of voiceover of, he hit the hole hard. Like,
he's good at that. Yeah.
So 3PIC fail. He goes 12 team redraft, full PPR. Bench is Ridley, Coleman, Brian Robinson Jr., Dylan Sampson, last spot, Wandell or Tyler Algier. This is a tough one for me and you. We both know the answer.
Wandell, baby.
It's Wandell.
Wandell and his like 600 targets. Yeah, dude.
I mean, Wandell has been playing out of his mind lately. I told you guys at the beginning of the season there was a reason for that. It's Ross. Ross is a much better quarterback to get him the ball. He's averaging 9 targets a game. 8 and 10 in the last 2 weeks. He's got 1 touchdown in the year so far. Thank God. I mean, he's got a 77% passer rating or catch rate. He can't go wrong there. They're getting him involved. They're trying to get him involved. Darius Slayton is very like no one's using him. I'm telling you guys, he is the real deal.
The question's already misformed though, because I would take Wandell straight up over. I have to pull up the question.
Coleman.
Coleman.
Hampson.
I was just gonna say Coleman's the odd one out there for me. Wandell is absolute wheels up.
Actually, for me, it would probably be Sampson out for Tyler Algier, but the problem is
that's the second I was thinking of. Kick them both out for Wandell.
Well, no, I would still keep Coleman, and drop out Dylan Sampson. But if it's full PPR, I understand why you're keeping him. But you have to wait for Tyler Algier to be useful. Dylan Sampson's useful right now until Junkins gets his feet underneath him.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna want a Tyler Algier. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to be the one putting in 100 and whatever to go get Tyler next week.
I just think like I actually like Algier and Sampson over Coleman in this particular, because you're benching Wandale and Ridley, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are 2 wide receivers on your bench. At this point, you're flush at wide receiver. You're not going to need any more. Like, even if Troy Franklin was out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need him because you're always going to start Wandale and Ridley in a pinch over any of these other guys. But, Coleman, when are you going to start Coleman? Never in this scenario, but if an injury were to happen, if Judkins were to go down, if Bijan were to go down, everyone in the entire league would drop 100% of their fab for either in that case.
No.
And so if we're talking about that last spot, Wandale's not the last spot. He's already in there. And if we're just talking about, do I like Coleman over those guys? Yeah. But if I don't need a wide receiver, I would rather have let me just cycle through my favorite sort of, if something were to happen, I win, button.
No, I get it. I mean, the crazy part with Coleman is his first game, they were just throwing the ball all over the place against the Ravens. And then the last 2 games where they don't need to, because they were just going to beat up on the Jets and the Dolphins, they didn't throw at all. 3 and 4 for, his targets instead of the 11 that he had prior. You're at a point where everyone kind of looked at the first game and went, "Ooh, this looks great," and then all of a sudden they pulled the rug underneath you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I do think that it's a scenario where I'd rather probably have Dylan and Tyler Algier, and I would drop Coleman because of that. Because then Coleman's just indispensable. Like, he's dispensable at that point. So
great team though, great bench, man, great draft. Well done.
So Warrior Loft in the house. What's up, man? Great to have you here.
Hey.
Happy Friday. Letting us know.
It is, man.
Yeah.
Talking fantasy with the boys. It's a great Friday.
Benjamin goes, last time Swift looked good was behind the Eagles O-line when you were talking about him playing hurt. Yeah. Hey, man. I get it. Warrior Loft goes, Jaden Daniels is out. Would you start Daniel Jones versus the Titans or your Caleb Williams versus the Cowboys?
Caleb Williams versus the Cowboys. I think that game has every single reason to go to the absolute moon. And let me just throw that. I have nothing against Daniel. This is not an anti-Daniel Jones take. It's just a rushing touchdowns when you have Jonathan Taylor are not that sticky. They needed to be, let me ask you this, okay? If they were 1 yard farther out, the Giants, does Daniel Jones rush it? He's not good enough to be
Giants
the guy.
Colts?
Colts, sorry. I said Giants. Wow. I'm thinking way back. I won't take you back to those days, buddy.
No,
I won't do it.
don't.
I won't do it to you.
Please
But
don't.
you know the point I'm making, right? There's a big difference between
they were doing it the whole time. Yeah.
1 yard and 2 yards and 3 yards away. I'm saying they're 1 yard. Daniel Jones is 2 to 3 yards away from 0 rushing touchdowns. He had to be actually that close. Caleb Williams is rushing the ball 5 and 6 times a game for 30 to 50 yards and occasionally a touchdown. That's outside of the rushing touchdowns. Like, Caleb Williams had 50 rushing yards. That is almost a touchdown in rushing production. Daniel Jones is getting you 20 yards maybe. He's not rushing like a rushing quarterback. He's rushing like just Jalen Hurts at the goal line. Give me Caleb against a Cowboys team. The Cowboys should put up points on the Bears. The Bears look like they could move the balls on the ball in a Detroit defense. The Detroit defense is better than the Dallas Cowboys defense, and the Bears still put up good points. I expect Caleb's floor to be 20 points, but his ceiling is closer to 30 plus. I think Daniel Jones's average range of outcomes is, what if he only throws for 2 touchdowns and 200 yards and everyone else does the rest of the work? Like, Daniel Jones doesn't have to have a big game. He's maximized every opportunity with his rushing touchdowns, but there's a lot of outcomes in those games where he just has like an 18-point game and it's just good. You're not upset, but you're just good. Everything went right, though. Caleb Williams could have had a lot more go right. In the last game against Detroit, how many passes did Caleb Williams complete against Detroit that put up 50 on us?
30.
Significantly less than 30.
Wow.
And it blows your mind, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at 65 attempts.
When you look up,
40,
look it up right now, and I'm telling you, it's going to floor you how many passes he completed. It was not that many in a game. He should have completed way more. I'm saying Caleb Williams is actually doing more with less than Daniel Jones in terms of like range of outcomes. I'm taking Caleb Williams is basically my QB6 this week in a matchup that should be fantastic. If Daniel Jones happens to get 2 rushing touchdowns, fantastic. On the year, I don't think Daniel Jones is going to have 15 rushing touchdowns. Let me put it that way. Because if you think he's going to have a rushing touchdown, you should put a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen that way for sure.
Yeah. So I kind of agree with you a little bit. The over-under for me is really nice with 50. Dallas only favored by 1, which means it's going to be a very, very close game throughout, which is nice, which keeps everything a little bit more honest. I like, I'm not a big fan of Caleb. I think he has a lot to learn, but he's been showing promise the last few weeks and a lot, going on. I mean, and like you said, his scramble ability has been good. He has a rough time with the concept of when to leave. He tends to do a lot of scrambling, goes to the line, and then just like, oh, do I throw it yet? And then he throws some like hospital ball that, destroys DJ Moore or whatever. I'm at the point where I don't mind Caleb Williams in this matchup just because of the over-under. That's my tiebreaker for these. Even though I like Daniel Jones, I think he's been doing well. The other part of it is the fact that it's not a non-divisional game. Non-divisional games usually tend to be a little bit more there's more points involved because they don't know each other as well. So, when it's an interdivision game, the points stay a little bit lower, and it's because they know each other well enough, especially the line. You have to always remember the line versus the line, and both lines for the Tennessee and the Colts are actually pretty good. The Colts O-line has been doing very well. Tennessee's O-line or D-line is a lot better than what people think it is. Jeremy Simmons is a all-star D tackle / DN, which I don't understand how he does it, but they have him all over that line. He is a monster and is good at his job. DeForest Buckner on the other side, very good at his job. That game is going to be a lot closer than people think. The Bears game, a little bit different. Both defenses are good. No, they're bad. So let's stick with Caleb and see what they can do.
Both are good options, right? You're not going wrong
both are
there.
great
But if you got to mince hairs,
if the tiebreaker,
the ceiling play, don't you think the ceiling play is a tiebreaker too? Like,
well, that was my point.
When is Daniel
the 50
Jones
point over under is the
has
ceiling
Daniel
play.
Jones ever been good on 40 pass attempts?
No. And he never
like that. That's not good. Caleb can be good on 40 pass attempts. He'll look like dog shit on half of them, but
well, his completion percentage is what scares me with him. So Bo Nix or Daniel Jones. A little bit more with Daniel Jones here. This is gross, and this might be my. I might make this my thumbnail on Sunday.
I feel so vindicated, Ray. Thank you so much. Bo Nix has been my I have been waving the flag for sell him.
Yeah.
Selling
him? No, I loved him.
I've been selling all off season on Phil's show. I said Bo Nix is a clear tear down.
So good.
Yeah, but I could go into the dynasty ramifications here, but
this is redraft. We are not in Dynasty right now.
Yeah, but
redraft mode.
The whole point, though, is Bo Nix is so stupidly overrated. It's unreal.
Yeah, QB 30-something right now. Ugh.
You guys got to watch these players in college. They develop a range of outcomes. Like Bo Nix was good, not great, man. He's got great coaching, good weapons, adults around him. His ceiling's not what you think it is.
Much better. Anyway, Daniel Jones, gross, right? He hasn't been using his legs as much as I thought he would.
I'm still taking Bo Nix over Daniel Jones because I think Daniel Jones is like the fool. The Colts are good. Daniel Jones is not.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that? Fair. Where do you think about I don't?
No, that's fair. Both division games. Both are the only thing that's leaning in any way, shape, or form is for Bo Nix is the 46 point over under, but.
I'll throw it. There's something to. I think this is just a philosophical thing. I think there is something absolutely nearly unstoppable about an elite tight end and an elite running back on the same team. What is a defense supposed to do in that situation? I don't think there is a good answer. I think the answer is you just lose. And I think the combination of Warren plus JT means almost anybody in that situation is going to find a path to success. I think the Colts are uniquely set up specifically because of what they have in Warren. along with what they have in JT. They were a tire fire last year, and JT was still running for 150. They're much better, and they have stability at quarterback. Daniel Jones is benefiting from what happens in the red zone when you have a stable team that can move the ball. But Bo Nix is still a much better quarterback and on a better team.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get to our next one there, Ray. We got Ishmael. What's going on, man? He goes, flex T. Higgins or Mbuka.
Wow. Oof.
That is a tough one for both of us.
We are kind of predicting the Cincy
being
game to
hurt.
potentially be pretty high scoring, though, right? Where we think the Tampa Bay game could kind of be over at halftime. Like bench players could be in way early in that game.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm probably leaning Higgins even with the Browning situation. So
yeah, I'm kind of there too. It'd be one thing if Chase Brown had the opportunity to just run wild, but it's not happening. Give me T.
Yeah.
Gross spot though, but I feel for you.
And then Monty or Henderson. Now, here's the caveat. I'm leaning Monty here just because of what they've been doing with Henderson lately. Patriots have not changed one way or another when it comes to running backs, and the concept of we never know, because Ramondre Stevenson did very well last week and Henderson took a shit.
Is this PPR or half PPR? Does it make a difference?
I always assume full. Well, no, because
I don't think
they're both involved.
Monty.
No, it's Monty for me in general. And it's really because of the Ravens game. Understood. Let's just be clear. The Ravens are going to be very good at stopping the run. But at the end of the day, if Vegas is pointing out a 53-point over-under, now we've had a couple of games that have been the lower end of this that ended up going well above the 53. So the 53 games have gone a little bit lower than what we think, which honestly there hasn't been one yet. So it's one of those things where I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, even if they're involving, Gibbs and Monty, they have to. They're their two best, they're two really good running backs. They want to keep Henry off the field. They want to keep Lamar off the field. They're going to have to run the ball effectively one way or another. Henderson is facing the Steelers, who have been horrible the last 2 weeks and have made made other running backs. I forgot off the top of my head. They made Breece Hall look good. They made who did they face last week?
Who did they face last week?
God, brain is just shot. Oh, they made A-Chain look good last week. A-Chain's good, but so at the end of the day, Henderson could be involved, but they are involving Antonio Gibson. They are having Stevenson lead the way. Henderson has taken a little bit of a backseat when it comes to snaps.
33% snap share on average, I think. He's on the field a third of the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that's scaring the crap out of me. Yeah, 33%. Ramondre at 60 consistently, 65.
You're not going to get enough touches on. How many plays do you need your offense to run?
I'm going Monty.
33% snap share to be meaningful,
I wanted you to understand why I'm leaning the way I am, even though I like Henderson better as a talent. It's Monty, and it's really because they're going to try to keep both guys on the field in one way or another. They're going to try to do exotic packages. They're going to try to get him more involved. Monty is in a better scenario than Henderson, sort of. But I can't trust it. Like, I have him in one league, and I put somebody in ahead of him. Like, I can't justify playing Henderson unless I had something way better. And it's in a league where I have two flexes. I kind of can find a way to put Henderson in, but not really, because I drafted him. Everyone drafted him pretty high, so I understand that you're looking for it. But always remember, after week 3 or 4, you're pretty much out of the boat of where you drafted them. It don't matter after that. We are past that point. So I'm going Monty regardless. But just know
Monty's not like 30 too, guys. Monty's still a very good running back. Yeah. Like, you see how J.K. Dobbins is eating RJ's lunch? Let me put it this way. Monty is twice the running back J.K. Dobbins is right now. Monty 100%. Is a really good running back. He's
and a better line for the Lions.
I mean, let me move my head. He's my boy, man. I'm about it. Yeah, give me Monty.
Yes, he is. So I would go Monty as well. So La Lucha, what's going on, man? He goes trade Chuba for London.
Was it offered to you? You're thinking about offering it back to them. They're not going to do it.
If it's redraft and you need a running back, I don't hate it. But
he's asking, what do you send Chuba away to get London?
Yeah. Oh, then no. Find someone else.
I love London. The London owner.
London
there's just no way the London
they're not going to let him
is going to sell for Chuba. Like
no.
That's just that's the London owner. That's him saying I'm. They're gonna wait. They're just gonna wait, right? Like, don't even offer it. If someone is offering you that trade, like I do like London rest of season better without any context.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that trade gets done, to be honest.
Yeah.
Luch, I'm curious if it was. Can you let us know if it's offered? If you're considering offering it, I only ask because I do love Tradecraft, and I think you it's not an opening offer you want to do, because I think that person is going to label you as a bit of a snipe, and they're not going to consider any of your first offers for the rest of the season if you offer that trade. So be careful. You might brand yourself as a little bit of a poacher. So I'd be careful. I just don't think the London owner is going to sell for that.
All right. So let's move on. Let's go to the Warrior Loft. He goes start Jake Ferguson versus the Bears or Juwan Johnson versus the Seahawks. This is an easy one for me. It's Juwan Johnson.
Yeah, I think so.
You can't.
That pure target share is great. I know Ferguson had a good week last week, but we're all anticipating that offense really should funnel through the great two wide receivers they have. The running game's working for them. Yeah, no. Give me Juwan Johnson.
You're not.
For sure.
You're not trying to be cute here. Just go Johnson.
Just give me the Kellen Moore offense, man.
The fact you were able to get Johnson with Jake Ferguson, good for you.
Yeah.
Lucius Veranas. What's up, man? Great to have you here. He goes in a league with defense. Have Seattle, but thinking of dumping them for the Jags. So many defensive injuries for Seattle this week. Agreed. And Houston seems so bad. Thoughts? I agree with your thought process. Jags actually played the Texans very well, especially at home. They have always done well against them. They have no outside help. Right now, Hines Allen is really good and has been doing very well at disrupting things. I really like the Jags. On the other hand, I really like the Texans because of this. Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter, they have been disrupting everybody this year and doing a really good job of it. The Jags O-line is doo-doo, and Trevor Lawrence has been running for his life. I have no problem playing either or, so if you like the Jags a little bit more, I'm good with playing the Jags against them.
Only caveat I'll say is Seattle has a pretty good schedule upcoming. Are any of those injuries, Mike? You're the injury expert.
No,
do you think they're going to linger for a minute?
So,
like multi-week. Do you think those defenders are going to be out next week as well?
I think so. Let me just double check the injuries because I remember one was Julian Love. That's a big loss for them. Yeah, Julian Love is doubtful. Witherspoon is doubtful. Those are two big parts of their secondary.
So here's what I'm saying. They got New Orleans this week, but there's they got Arizona.
Oh, they got they got their stud safety from South Carolina, the Nick Amawani. He's out too. Those are big pieces to the secondary that I am nervous with them changing things up. I like the Jags a little bit more in that matchup.
In 1 week, I don't disagree with you, but my only concern is if you're looking at if you're at a fab situation where you can't manipulate defenses week to week. Just hear me out there. That they got New Orleans, even if you have nobody, probably isn't going to go crazy. But Arizona next week, Kyler, I think, is a sack turnover friendly guy. I always love starting defenses against Kyler because he loves to give it up. Tampa Bay is rough. But then you have Jacksonville and Houston. So I think Seattle over the next 4 weeks is going to have 3 fantastic matchups. So it might be like less optimal now, but you can play them, and then the next couple weeks are like week 7 against Houston, I want Seattle. Week 6 against the Jags, I want Seattle, right? Week 4 against Arizona, I'm fine playing Seattle. I think Seattle has a lot of good matchups coming up before their bye week. If you play the Jags, what's the Jags schedule going forward? Are you playing the Jags in 1 week and having to drop and pick somebody else up? I would want to know your league economy. Just have a plan for next week and make sure you can stream something decent.
Well, that's what streaming is all about, is trying to find those matchups every single week. And if you picked up the Seattle defense in general, you were streaming them to begin with. Like, they were not a key defense that you are picking up right away. Like, there was nothing that scared me in that scenario, like against Pittsburgh or anything like that.
I mean, they're the number 2 defense in the year right now in the last.
I don't disagree, but I'm okay. Like, they're losing 2 or 3 big parts of their secondary going against, who are they? They're going against the Saints. I understand your point. Like, they could maybe make do with what they have. Those are big pieces of their defense, with 2 safeties and a corner out. And then on top of that, their corner has been out the last 2 weeks. So, Julian Love got banged up last week, and their other guy has been out for the last 2 weeks at least. So right now they've just been injured and still playing well. Their D line is their biggest part of their, whole system. And it's really their D tackle with Reed. So I'm good with dumping them for Jags this week, but then, like Kendall said, you're going to have some type of, situation to get them back, or you're going to have to be willing to put a couple bucks on them to get them back the next week. So that's what I would do.
Because you're not playing. The Jags have San Francisco in week 4. Probably not happening, I don't think. Maybe
will be back by then.
Kansas City in week 5. I wouldn't do that.
So then maybe you keep them and just deal with it. I mean, it's 1/2 dozen of the other guys. Defense.
I agree with Mike. In 1 week, I think Mike's right. Make your call based on how much fab. What if it's not a fab league?
Well,
too?
No,
what if it's a waiver priority?
Honestly,
I think fab leagues are
on
better for defenses.
100%.
If you're in a waiver priority league,
no.
That's what in a waiver priority league, I'm keeping Seattle, because you might
100%.
get screwed over on just not having a good pivot because everyone else takes it. I do agree with you, Mike, on the 1 week matchup. If you need to buy a week, I think the Jags have a higher ceiling. They have more playmakers right now.
Oh no, for sure. They are definitely someone that I'm willing to buy for a week, but waiver, no. Fab, yes. That's when I would drop them and go, roll with it if I could, because then at least now I have an opportunity to get them back. And granted, you're going to have to spend a couple bucks to get them back, because if other teams are aware of defenses, they will find it and go for it.
Hey, no one else on YouTube's going for 5 minutes on defensive takes, man. All right, Mike knows more about NFL defenses than I think 50%.
I know a good amount. I don't know a lot
out there. Just for the record, I'm gonna throw out there.
No. I don't have the analytics they do. I have a keen eye for these things.
They have the analytics. They don't pay attention. You are good at knowing defensive, man. I think you're underrated there.
Aw. Sadness is life. Knicks or Love, 10-team full PPR since Daniels is out.
Whew.
Gross.
Yeah, interesting. That was interesting.
Green Bay is favored by 7.5. Just to give perspective.
Off the jump, I think Knicks.
I like Knicks a little bit better, even though it's an interdivision game. For me, it's indoors. It's a little bit of a better scenario in general. Chargers defense doesn't scare me too much. They're good, but they don't scare me.
More rushing potential.
Browns defense in the front is very good. And
they're killing it.
They're
number 1 in the league, I think, in points against, right? Like they don't let people blow them out.
Like with the running backs, they've shut down the running backs the last few weeks. So for me, it makes me think that Packers might have to adjust to then throw the ball. So I understand why people are a little bit unsure.
So that game feels like it could be like 13-3. It could just be like boring.
41.5 point over under. I'm still leaning Knicks here just because there's more opportunity for him for points. He might have a rough game though. So I'm still going Knicks though.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm rolling with them this week. Ishmael, 12 team, half point. He's got Bo. He's got Purdy. He's got London Collins, T. Higgins and Buka, Ferguson, Juwan Johnson, Monty Henderson, Mason, Zach Charbonnet, and Benson. I'm 0-2 teammate asked.
RB is brutal.
Teammate asked Hendo and Collins for CD Lamb.
No. I wouldn't do it.
If it's redraft, I'm doing it.
Yeah, but how are you going to win your league if Henderson? Here's the thing. Here's why it's an absolute no for me. It's a zero. It's a 0% land.
No, you're right because I see it.
You're just asking for third place. You cannot win this league until your running back game gets fixed. Hendy is your only shot at upside by week 17. Mm-hmm. And if you just trade for CD, it's like great. Anybody that has a balanced roster top to bottom, which is everyone that makes the playoffs and definitely people that make round 2 in the playoffs. This is about winning your league, not about having a good team. You understand? Mm. So the thing here is CD feels good, but you need to have a great team. CD doesn't make a great team. It makes a great player. Mm. Henderson needs to be averaging minimum 13 points per game by like week 10. Otherwise, you're just going to lose this league, right? This is not a winning play. This is I'm 0-2. I need to do something.
Yeah.
And he's trying to take advantage of that smartly. Do not do this trade. There are plenty of trades I would say do it, but with your particular roster, you cannot give up a running back. There is no one left on waivers that's worth it.
Right.
If no one major gets injured, you ought to lose with this trade. I mean, immediately pack it up. So don't do it.
No, I like it. Yeah. Good call there, Kendall. So Rafi goes back to when we were talking about baby girl names. Baby girl names, they were all on our list, but we called it quits after our last 2 Chalupa Batmans, Zelda, Teamson, and Frida. And yeah, those aren't the ones we have in mind. I have different ones. But I'm not allowed to talk about it because my wife gets mad at me when I talk about it.
I know I'm not allowed to throw mine out there in the YouTubeverse either.
Well, that too. She doesn't care when she gets mad when I tell it to randos. So in my case, this, no offense to everybody here, but you all are random comparatively to people that I know, and even with people that I know, she gets mad at me when I say stuff. So
my wife knows that my only friends are fantasy football friends.
Yeah, I know that's the same thing here too. So Philly Mike, I'm just going to tell you right now, this is false. So do not listen to Philly Mike in the context of what's going on. If you find this, send it to me. I want you to send it to me in Discord because I just looked at Adam Schefter. He is not saying this in any way, shape, or form. So Jaden Daniels is fine. He is not shut down for the rest of the season. He did not tear anything in his knee ligament or anything like that. He is going to be a couple weeks. He is not out for the season. So just don't.
For the clicks, man. Shefty's paying him for sure.
Yeah, just don't spread false information, guys. That's probably, if anything, that's from that false one for Adam Schefter. And especially with the space that you put. Come on, bro.
Philly's been doing this every week for a month.
Know. Come on now. So let's be better. There's other ways around that.
Rohan.
Yeah, we already kind of answered this there, big guy. It's gonna be Genty.
Yep.
Don't play the fact that you have both, great. Don't overthink this one.
If JJ was starting and was better and their offense was better, we'd have a conversation. We're not there yet.
Yeah, and right now there might be a way to put in Mason over who you currently have in.
Yeah, that would PPR, heck yeah, for sure. He's getting over a lot of wide receivers.
Well, that too. So I'm probably going to be trying to find a way to put Jordan Mason in my lineup in the flex if I can. So Parker goes, yo guys, I don't know if y'all remember last week. I had Merritt, Terry, and Debo. I rolled with Debo, who was great, and Merritt, who was not so great. But with Neighbors and Javante's performance, I still got the W. Good for you, Parker. Yeah. Thanks for having it. Thanks for getting back to us about that. That's great. I mean, honestly, man, good for you and good for being able to play Javante. I've had a lot of people come up to me recently about Javante and being like, dude, how can I play Javante? I have A, B, C, and D. I'm in the same boat, man. I have in one league, in my Dynasty league, I have Henry, Gibbs, JT, and Cook. I can't play Javonte any given week because I just don't have the ability to do it. I can only play those 4. And, because I can play 3 wide receivers and be completely fine, but my wide receivers are dirt. Well, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those scenarios for me where I've been trying to find a way to put Javonte in and I just can't do it. So good for you to be able to do that. Neighbors too. But we're going to answer a fun question in a second about Debo. And here it is. Andre, what's up, man? He goes, I'm looking for a wide receiver upgrade. What can a Debo plus Jordan Mason package get me, fellas?
So Mike, I'm going to flip it to you because we're an hour and 49 in.
Yeah, we're going to...
Andre, can we do this? Are you in our Discord? Because this is a question.
If you are, throw this in the Discord.
This is so tailor-made for me, who has no life outside of fantasy football, my wife and kids, that I need to see your lineup and I need to see your league. This is a 5 to 30-minute question. This is a deep diver. I can't just throw out names because anybody who just throws out names is on a big brand who is not actually caring about your team, right? Care about the offers that you send, right? I cannot. I'm in the Megala Bowl with fantasy footballers. I cannot tell you how many stupid trades I am getting where it's like the trade's not stupid, but it's like, I can't sell you a running back. I don't have any. I'm starting RJ Harvey as my RB2. Why do you think I can sell you my RB1? It's not viable. So it all has to do with, it has way more to do with your trade partner than it has to do with the player you're getting. I hope that makes sense, Andre. To anyone that's doing a trade in redraft, it's not about value. It's about team need. In Dynasty, it's all about value. In redraft, it's about buying wins long-term. And so you've got to respect your trade partner's roster. Otherwise, you're not going to get a good deal done. So we got to look into that a little bit more. Because if I throw names out, I'm not giving you good advice. I'm just giving you work. That could be bad advice. It could be good advice. I'll never know. And honestly, you won't until you do the homework. Get in the Discord. Ask anyone. I'm in there all the time. I'm very loyal to it. If you throw me some stuff in there, we'll chat about it. We'll figure it out. Let's do it there.
Yeah, Andre, definitely throw it in there.
It's free. I'm not trying to get money from you too,
yeah,
Andre.
this is...
I'll take money, by the way. Electric bill. Actually, electric bill is fine. Utilities is what's killing me, man. I've got terrible insulation. That bill is destroying me right now. So we'll figure it out later.
Well, beyond the government killing us, it's going to be fun. So Louis Gone, he goes Purcell, Keenan Allen, or Terry McLaurin.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm gonna go Purcell. I like
with Jennings has a pretty bad injury, multi-injury. I think Ricky's pretty good this game.
I think Will Johnson is also a little banged up, which is good for this particular game. I want to double check my math here because I remember seeing something about Will Johnson being hurt. And if Will Johnson's hurt, I am all in on Purcell.
That's a game changer. But by the way, for those that don't know, while Classic is looking this up,
doubtful.
Classic is live every Sunday morning. So when these and again, this is speaking from I consider myself I have no life. I live for fantasy. I still tune in. Me and the whole fam on the way back from church pop into Mike because he is my defensive guru. I pay attention to the little green bubbles and all the things on offense. I don't as much on defense, and Mike cares about that in a way you probably never will, and it matters when it comes to wide receivers specifically. So for all of you guys who are looking at these start-sit questions, the implication you're not thinking of is check with Mike on Sunday for the defensive matchup injury situations. It will give you a 5% edge that your league
not thinking
ready
about.
For.
Yeah, because
that's a big deal.
And honestly, it's a lot of it's the one thing that you should really look at in a lot of ways when you are trying to gauge, those coin flip guys or the way that we are talking about these flex players for us, because a lot of these guys are flex guys. So a lot of the scenarios we're trying to figure out what the coin flip is and what it is going to be to determine what it is. A guy going against Will Johnson, I'm less likely going to do, but if he's out, Purcell, done, because it's going against Mac Jones. Mac Jones has shown us what he can do the last few weeks. I feel a lot better about that matchup than I do in most. The Keenan Allen, I don't mind Keenan Allen here, but they're going to try to scheme him out because they're good. The Broncos are good at this. And on top of that, Terry hasn't shown me anything with Mariota. Well, in the context that Mariota hasn't shown me anything in his whole career. So for me,
Terry with a good quarterback hasn't shown you much, let alone Mariota. You got a double whammy there, right?
Exactly. So for me, I'm going with the guy that I like better, the scheme that I like better, going against the matchup I like better. All Purcell.
I'm in. Agreed.
Yeah. So appreciate you there, Louie. We got CP3 CP1.
I think it's a 3-pick fail.
Oh, 3-pick fail. Whatever. I just, I have to learn how to. I'm not good at reading into those weird ones. He goes, how do I feel about Debo right now with Mariota? Debo versus Ridley in full PPR. I might lean Debo, and it's really just because of the concept that they'll use him in the run game as much as being short yardage. The intermediate routes is where right now
he's their best running back.
Sure. But here's my thing. A player like Mariota, who has never really thrown for over 3,000 yards in his career, is one of those guys that is just he's better at throwing it short than he is throwing it deep. Debo is somebody that is good with the screen game, living in the intermediate to short route, kind of my Wan'Dale Robinson, if you will.
Jet sweep, baby.
It just works. Ridley's going to be having a tougher matchup in general. Like we talked about before, he's going to be going against Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore has been doing very well the last few weeks, shutting down wide receivers. I am good with Debo this week, a little bit more than I normally am. I'm not a big Debo fan to begin with, but I can see him being utilized in this game because they need to find a way to get the run game going because of losing Eckler. They need something. And I think Debo is the guy to help move that forward.
I'm huge on Debo rest of season right now. Massive. Yeah. The amount of touchdowns are worth 60 yards, man. Debo is going to get some red zone carries.
Good point.
And that's going to add up. It's so going to add up. Yeah. Give me Debo by a lot here.
Nino, what's going on, man? Great to have you here.
How you doing, Nino, man?
Oh, we were friends here. We're always here. You know that. We got Louis again going Genty, Mason, or ETN. Pick 2. Ooh, this
Genty,
is a little
ETN.
bit. Yeah, I think it's Genty and ETN.
ETN looks, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, ETN over Genty.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I don't hate that.
ETN looks really nice right
Texans
now.
You can run on.
Real good.
Texans you can run on.
Can't throw on Stingler, but you can run on them.
Yep. The only caveat for me for Mason is just because the Bengals are a little bit, you can run on the Bengals. But I like Genty a little more. So I'm going to go Genty and ETN for sure. I like that a little bit better. So he's Nino's got a couple of start sits for us. He's so always full PPR. Got it. Start 2. Alik, Almador, or Hollywood, Golden, Pickens, or T. Higgins.
Golden's out. You got to pick 2, right? Yeah. Golden's easy out for me.
Yeah, he's out. Pickens is out.
He's more of a half PPR play than PPR for me. Easy out.
Pickens and Golden are out for me.
You kick the next one out.
The only other one that I would kick out is...
I gotta kick 2 more.
I want to kick out Hollywood, but the thing is, we don't know what's going to happen when Worthy comes back. If anything, Worthy helps. Worthy coming back helps.
Are you leaning Pickens T?
No, I'm leaning T. I'm leaning T and Hollywood.
Leaning T first. Okay, T Hollywood. Interesting. Yeah, and I don't disagree.
Better
completely.
Quarterback comparatively to Ward. I'd rather have the guy that might get anywhere between 5 to 6.
T for sure is between Pickens and Hollywood.
Yeah.
Is the argument that Hollywood probably has bigger usage? Pickens has what we think is a pretty big over under affair of offenses that could make some things happen.
Let me see something.
And I don't love that Pickens has only been useful when the game has been
Out of hand.
bonkers. You know, in a regular game state, Pickens has kind of been like, I'm starting Wandale over Pickens almost all day.
Oh my god, I didn't realize how bad you guys are beat up at corner.
Yeah, I mean,
Holy
we're
shit.
destroyed, man.
You're
Without
down
Jalen
and
Johnson, our
Jordan.
secondaries.
Oh wow, you're
F,
down.
man.
Well, that and you're down, Jordan. It's Pickens and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I see what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Mike
I had to
knows
look it up.
defense.
Well, I know the guys that are on the defense, and once I see that 3 of them are out, it just makes more sense. Because who are they going to get to replace it? Stevenson? Stevenson is garbage. If you look at the statistics of when Jalen Johnson's in with Stevenson, guess where teams throw the ball?
Mike, do you think I need to look at the statistics?
I know.
or
You're
do
the
I need to
guy
watch
that
the game
you watch
and-
the Bears all the time. You know. I'm
I
talking
don't
to the
get
guy-
a chance to get the statistics. I'm far gone. at
I
that
watch
point.
I know what it is because I watch these games and I see it every freaking time.
Yeah.
They just avoid Johnson, which is what you should
And
do.
you're good. He's deadly, man.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
Stevenson's your best guy, and he's gonna have to go against Lamb. Lamb's gonna have a game. Pickens could have a game, but at the end of the day, this is gonna be a tough game in general. But Pickens, I can't. There's nothing that's gonna give me. I can't pick a guy with Cam Ward yet. It's just not there. Hollywood, I don't mind. Hollywood's the close third for me. Golden's out of the equation. He's had he's had 2 receptions in the last 2 weeks. Like, don't like keep him on your bench, but he ain't there yet. Dobbins
He's
is
a rookie,
the
guys.
wide receiver.
He is a rookie.
Yeah, and Dobbins is the
Like-
clear possession receiver.
We're benching
And
Henderson. We're benching a
Kraft.
lot of rookies, guys. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And same with a league. Like, I can't justify playing him.
Yeah.
So I'm going Pickens and T. Higgins.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you.
So Nino got a trade offer as well. Thought about sending Pacheco straight up for B-Rob. Yeah, I would do it. B-Rob looked really good.
CMC.
B-Rob looked real good in his backup role. And Pacheco's been doing nothing.
My concession is a week 17 play. Pacheco's bad now. Do we have any idea what Pacheco looks like in 10 weeks?
No, but
We have
I
no
can
idea. But we
sit
do
here-
know that B-Rob, if CMC is healthy, B-Rob is... How often are you winning a fantasy football championship starting B-Rob?
Yeah, well, I completely get that. But can I name some guys that are currently have more points than Isaiah Pacheco at this current point, and
I got
have-
more points than
and-
Isaiah Pacheco.
and have the attempts that he does that are just below average in general?
Yeah,
with
but
15?
okay, but
He has 15 rushing attempts.
the Chiefs are 0-2, which means if we project that, which means they won't win a game this season, though, right? The Chiefs will be 0-X, right?
He has 15 rushing attempts, Kendall. 15.
But I
To
get
give
that.
perspective, he has the same as Brian Robinson in attempts. Brian Robinson has more yardage, has 3.5 yards per carry, has more usage in general, and is on a better offense in all just ways. Because Kyle finds a way.
All right, so let's argue though. So Rice comes back at some point, and then Worthy gets healthy. With a healthy Rice,
They're gonna pass it more than they're
healthy
gonna run it.
Worthy. Yeah, but how are you going to load the box? I'm just saying, like,
Well, right now,
I don't you see a narrative where can you see the narrative where Pacheco is a lot better when teams have to respect Patrick Mahomes in a passing offense? And
I
Pacheco
get
goes
it,
back to
but
what he used to do.
they haven't been running the ball. If you look at the numbers just in general for the Chiefs, 15 attempts for Pacheco, 13 for Hunt, and then the 2 or whatever for Smith. They haven't been running the ball that much. Most teams, the most attempts this year is, I mean, we got to take Cook out of the equation because he just
fair.
played this week, but 43 is the next one. They're not even close to the 43 mark.
Okay.
At this
Okay.
point-
Let me ask you then. So Pacheco's garbage. Give me the upside case for B-Rob though. You are trading a
B-Rob,
starter for a bench player.
I don't disagree, but my point is for this, if he's willing to trade away Pacheco, that means he has ridiculous amount of depth at running back. There's no way that he would be wanting to do that to be able to get a backup. He's got CMC clearly. And then he probably got Pacheco in the late 10th. And then he's gotten at least two other guys at the very most that are better than that. And it could be anywhere from, the likes of like ETN or it could be Alvin Kamara, it could be Bucky, it could be a whole sleuth amount of people. The whole point is that if he has a ton of depth at running back, getting rid of Pacheco doesn't. It's minuscule, and he's getting a guy that has the same amount of touches and is more productive with his touches because he's on a better team. Well, not on a better. I wouldn't say a better team.
My second argument though is that CMC goes down. Everyone who thinks B-Rob is the guy,
he is.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Then who's the number 2? If you think I know you're Isaiah Guerrero fan, I get it.
No, I'm saying it's a mishmash. Like, I think Jordan James gets some looks. I think Guerrero gets some looks, who's also decent in the passing game. I don't think B-Rob has ever been a great player, ever. I think he's decent.
Nino, tell us who you have backing up, because I need to make sure that I can keep up with this argument. Because if you're telling me that you don't have anybody else, then I'm going to tell you to keep Pacheco. But if you are,
I was going to say the sadly I don't argument. He just won the argument for me though. Thank you.
I know that's the whole point. Well, that's my whole point. Like Isaiah Pacheco's getting 58%.
I'm kind of with you, though. I was with you.
You get what I'm saying, though, right?
I totally agree with you on the
go with the backup. And
if you're never going to use either ever. Except for like, what's the 5% chance you use one of them? It's only if CMC goes down. That's where I'm like, that's where Mike's making a lot of sense.
I try.
And I think that Nino, give us a screenshot, man. Help me out, buddy.
I have. Okay. Wait, my bad. I didn't even look at that. So he's CMC, Chase Brown, Harvey, Pacheco, Benson. That's not a horrible grouping of guys.
That's not horrible.
Like, honestly, I get Chase Brown. I get the concept that at this point he's going to take an uptick. Like, he'll take an uptick, but a downtick at the same time. He'll probably be even if you they're going to load up the box a little more. They're going to have to, get okay. Yeah. So, I mean, Harvey is not producing yet. Neither is Pacheco. Neither is Benson. All these are backup except for Pacheco.
All right, I'm gonna make my last argument. I'm gonna call it. And Mike, you make whatever last argument you want to. And Nino, unfortunately, it's your team. You're gonna make a call here, but
yeah, you ultimately are making the call. We are just telling you what we think.
I think that buying B-Rob is saying it. I think it's playing for a bad scenario. I think it's if I want to hedge my bet. I don't believe in hedging bets in fantasy. I don't think it's a winning play. If fantasy paid 3rd and 4th place, it would be a much better play, but it just doesn't.
My league plays 3rd.
When I have a team that wins a league, God help the poor bastards that think they're going to beat me with B-Rob. When I win a league,
listen to Jeff Mann.
You are in fucking trouble. Okay? I'm going to blow you the fuck out. Like, B-Rob in your lineup is maybe getting you to the dance, hopefully inching along, injured, scraping to get there. But I just don't see a world where you're winning unless you got crazy lucky. I'm saying Pacheco might be dust. Pacheco might be droppable, but there's a case where it's the Chiefs, Mahomes, and pass catchers that are coming back. Pacheco has been a top 20 running back. He has been extremely good.
Until B-Rob, he hurt his foot.
Well, yeah, I've never.
When you break that ankle,
I've never been a Pacheco or a B-Rob guy, to be fair. I think both.
It took over 2 years for Pollard to even get his feet underneath him to do well.
Yeah, but Tony Pollard's a better running back than both of them, straight up, like for sure. What you see some highlights on Tony Pollard? He's got some wiggle.
I do too, right. But I like. Unfortunately, Pacheco runs with a little bit. Pacheco runs like Marshawn Lynch, but gets put down quick because he's just not the same size. He has the veracity of Marshawn, but doesn't have the size. So it makes
Remember
it
Thomas Rawls? That's who Pacheco reminds me of. Who lasted Thomas Rawls. 5 games.
Oh my god,
remember?
That's a bad one, but I get it. Yeah, no,
He ran angry until his legs
Travis
said,
Homer,
like,
maybe.
yeah, we're not happy about it.
No, but I honestly, it's just one of those things where you have to, you're either making the decision that you're going to go with having a strong, you're going to have a really good, strong running back depth in the context of you're going to have the best backups out there with Harvey, Benson, and B-Rob, because otherwise you're not going to be able to play anybody else, and you're going to be playing B-Rob probably in a situation where actually no, you're not, because if CMC's out, B-Rob's out, and then you're going to be playing, Chase Brown and Harvey and Benson or whoever. So I don't mind
That's a
it.
good argument too. Yeah, B-Rob might still be benched behind Harvey by the time you play him.
Well, I mean, it's based on their bye weeks. I don't have that in front of me, but
I said I would stop arguing. I got to shut up.
I do too, but it's one of those things, man, that this is a tough one. I feel a little bit more on board with getting B-Rob because then I know that CMC is solidified, but it puts me in a bad situation later in the league. Later in the year.
Can we get a pull up, Mike? I feel like I don't know who won this.
He needs to argue this in the Discord because the Discord might have a better.
We need a poll here. We need a poll.
I wish I can pull. Like I wish I could.
This
do
is
that.
a classic versus Kendall poll that I have no idea.
I'll put it in the Discord. I'll put it in the Discord later.
I'm super curious. Classic. I got to be honest though. I am so happy that neither of us have this in a real life scenario.
Do not have this real scenario in real life. So brutal, thankfully, man. I am lucky to not have this.
Shout out to Nino though, dude. I cannot remember a week in the last month or so where you haven't like made me tickle a part of my brain that it's a rough one, man. You bring some good questions to the table, bro.
So he goes, honestly, I totally agree with the fact that most players agree I'm with most players, but we're talking CMC here. But you're right, starter for my handcuff this stuff. Yeah, I don't blame you. Like that's my only that's the only caveat to any of my stuff is that you're definitely getting rid of a starter for a backup, and he is somebody that could, and the key term there is could, do well at one point, but we're not there yet. So Lloyd Gaming, what's going on, man? Great to have you here. He goes, would you guys do something like pick up London and giving Chase
Brown plus Diggs?
No. I don't think so. Why would I do that? Would you guys do something like pick up London and give? So this is a trade. So would you trade London for Chase Brown and Diggs? If I'm really bad at if I am stacked at wide receiver,
you can afford to give up Chase Brown.
Yeah, someone else can. He's looking to get right. No.
Is your question? He's trading for London. He's sending away Chase Brown.
You're right.
And Diggs.
No, you're right. You're right.
Your question is the same as mine, which is what's your running back room? Because how are you available to get rid? Chase Brown's had an awful start to the season, but we're 2 weeks in, super young, small sample size. How can you afford to give up Chase Brown? What's the rest of your running back room look like? Lloyd, what's the rest of your RB room, bud? This is that's a big part of this question.
Let us know.
Hard to answer without that.
Yeah, let us know and we'll get back to you before we leave if you're there. Nino laughs. He's like, my bad. Rereading that was even tough for me. Hey, it's the life of having well, I'm already a couple deep, and we're already reading comprehension tends to go away near my Friday because I'm just tired and exhausted at this point. And
by the way, and Classic is coming off of a golf outing.
Oh my god, I'm already.
All right. Yeah. This man's been toasted for like 24 hours.
I wouldn't say 24, but definitely for 12. And
you're in your recovery right now.
I'm recovering, and it feels fantastic. So Gala X1 or Gala 1X, we did this one a bunch of times today. It's Genty. We're not going to change our mind. If you're the same person trying to give us the same question, it's Genty. Because I am not going to change my view on that. I think I'm not against Mason in any way, shape, or form. I think he can do well this week in general, but I think you can't. There's no justification for me to put Mason above Genty.
Yeah, no, not there yet.
Not there yet. No.
I mean, guess we could make an argument if the Vikings had a quarterback that was moving the offense consistently.
Well, that's the other
they
part,
have a brand new quarterback walking in.
Wentz.
They could be a tire fire. We just don't know. It's too many
no,
unknowns.
we know it's going to be a
the
tire
only
fire.
thing known in that trade, not trade situation, you know what I'm saying. The only thing known is that Genty is quite good. It's just that he's awful in pass pro, but not every
100%.
defensive line is elite, and some of them don't have good days. And Genty will have fantastic days.
And he can learn pass pro.
And honestly, Genty was good at running the ball. He was just such dog shit in pass pro.
Yeah.
Like when he opened the game, you see him rush for like that 13-yard gain. You're like,
hey, Nino, thanks, brother. Really do appreciate you.
Man, dude, that utility bill. Thank God.
I know.
Woo!
I can pay it.
Nino, I cannot thank you enough, though, man. Like
we do appreciate
we're happy to go deep all the time, but it's just I sincerely appreciate the thinking of us that way, man.
Thank you. Much appreciated there, Nino. Thank you. So those that are out there, please make sure you guys check. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong button there. Please make sure you guys check out our other stuff as well. We have Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't tried it, you should. Underdog Fantasy. Other way. I put it on the other side. It's on your side over here.
It is on my side. Are we flipped?
Flipped it.
I see myself pointing to it. Maybe you don't.
Oh, I put it to the other side. Anyway, make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy if you haven't already. Please make sure you guys are using the promo code GETRIGHT. They are doing a new promotion right now that if you pay $5, you get $50. So they will give you $50 when you play $5 for new customers in bonus funds. So make sure you guys check that out. One of my favorite platforms for a lot of different things. They also have this gimme pick for this week with Barkley at 0.0, which is great. If you guys haven't done their pick'em, it is one of my favorites. You're picking higher or lower, and it's just a really good time if you haven't already. So make sure you guys check out Underdog Fantasy in those places that have it. Using
if you don't sports bet
right.
or don't sports bet often, that deal in and of itself is enough to basically just tail the promo bets all year long. And just basically it's going to pay for a few buy-ins next year, even if you have to win almost nothing. It's so good. So, and if you're not sure, hit us up in the Discord, man. We'll literally have a best ball, like underdog DFS section.
Oh, we have our own channel.
Yeah, it's there now. It's a thing. So
make sure you guys check that out as well. Make sure you check out the Discord. The Discord is in the description for any of those that want to join. Anyone that was new here tonight, please make sure you guys check out the Discord. It is one of our favorite things that we have created for you guys. We really do appreciate everything that you guys do for us. So please make sure you guys are using the Discord. We really love the interaction in the community that we created, and we just want to keep building it and making it better. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the show as well. We always love when you guys like the videos, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. So really do appreciate everyone's time tonight. Kendall, always a pleasure talking football with you on a Friday. We will be back. I will be back on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. to help you guys out with last-minute start-sit questions. And then we are also back on Monday with Frank. He will be here doing your waiver wire ads and drops. And also on Tuesday, Phil will be here from some Dynasty content. And then Wednesday, we're back with Frank. And then all the way back next Friday, we'll be here. So hope everyone has a wonderful week 3. Except again. Oh, wait, no. Warrior, you ruined my outro. Ruining it. Warrior Loft goes start. Ridley, Pickens, Diggs, or Keenan Allen. Pick one. Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Oh, I love an easy one to end it. Keenan Allen for both of us. He's been looking good lately.
Warrior, you owe me get to the Discord, though. I definitely.
It's all good, brother.
It's all good. If you send our links into your league, all right, get your league mates in here.
Send it around.
All be forgiven.
Yeah. Just send it around. No problem, brother. That's why we're here. We always want to make sure you help. Anyway, make sure you guys check out the channel. I already did all my outro stuff. Make sure you guys are checking out all of our stuff that we have currently going on. We will see you guys. Like I said, I'll see you guys on Sunday morning. I hope to see you guys moving forward. Hope everyone has a good week 3, except against me. Kendall, I'll see you later, my friend.
Let's play some music, man.
Woo! Later.
Wanted to white fantasy is the play. Marking nothing, but I tune every Friday. Strategies provided.